What's up, everybody? Welcome back to your favorite wrestling podcast. It is the Monday Night Wave, baby. And we back with episode 25 of them things. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about. Shout out to all the listeners out there. Shout out to the ones on Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, wherever you're listening from. We appreciate it. Thank y'all for tuning in. Oh, also, don't forget to subscribe on YouTube because we're definitely trying to build up that following as well. With that being said, I go by Jay, your host, the lonely one, the babyface's babyface, your mom's favorite babyface. And without further ado, I'm going to pass it off to my right-hand man over here, the one, the only, Mr. Heroic. Take it away.
He is a wild card. He is the king of gorgeous. He is Mr. Sexy Ass Lottery. He is Hero, and I am he. And it's good to be back on another episode of Monday Night Wave, episode 25. Love it. Love that for us. Now, Mr. Lone Caster. I don't think I used that one yet. What do you want to pod about? Yeah.
It's a great day to pod about wrestling. Great day. Great week. Great shows. A lot of big news happening. Some comebacks, some setbacks, but we're going to talk all about it here. Before we get into everything like we always do, we're going to start off with the news. What we got here? First things first is we want to send our condolences and prayers to the Anoa'i family. We just found out yesterday that Afa of the Wild Samoans has passed, so we want to send our condolences and prayers to them.
Yes.
And yeah, man, just it's tough. That's very tough, especially like in the recency between losing like Roman's dad as well.
Yeah.
That was definitely a hard hit for the family.
I'm sure it is. Yeah. Condolences, prayers, thoughts, all sorts of positive vibes. Similar to marriage spouses who lived together for a long time, I guess twins also or have a similar synchronicity, or sort of like when one goes, it's not too far beyond. The other one might not be too far behind. Yeah, I know. Yeah, it just sucks, but
it definitely sucks. So shout out to them. Shout out to the Anoa'i family, man. Stay tight, stay strong, keep y'all head up for sure. Keeping it in somber news, we found out that injuries, right, our thing, they happen.
Yeah.
We found out that Dakota Kai is out for 8 to 10 weeks. I didn't see what the actual injury was. Was it tied to like her knees again, or
yeah, it's something with her meniscus? So yeah,
okay.
I think it might be a torn meniscus or something like that.
So we definitely send our thoughts to Dakota.
She's
stay keep your head up, champ.
I love you, King Coda. She's injury prone. I don't know her age or anything, but it's getting to the point where it's like, fuck, man, they might have to finally push the button on her if you're going to give her a push. If you're gonna, I don't know, maybe next Money in the Bank or something, but we gotta. I don't know. I feel like we gotta do something with her before the car breaks down, because it seems like, and that's not trying to be disrespectful or anything, it just seems like she gets injured a lot, and yeah, everyone wants to see her at least. Everyone wants some of their favorites or just some of the people that they'd like to be, presented and projected well or whatever. So I feel like when she does come back and we get this new baby. I mean, Damage Control is already baby faces at this point. And
right.
Then, so once she gets back, and hopefully Asuka comes back at some point, I don't remember her time date for when she was supposed to return, but yeah, hopefully this babyface Damage Control gets a good run, and we can get King Coda in a singles title run, hopefully, or something like that, or just in some significant storylines. Not everyone needs a title. Yeah. I've said that multiple times. I agree, but like a significant storyline or something that, yeah. So, but yeah, shout out to King Coda. Rest up.
Keep it in, spinning out of condolences and stuff like that to get into more what the hell you thinking kind of comments.
Wait, this is Adam Cole thing.
Oh yeah. Wait.
Yeah,
my bad. We got a couple superstars gearing up for a return. Adam Cole is set to be gearing up for a return. Hasn't been seen since, what was that?
The Vegas show.
Double or Nothing. Yeah, it was Double or Nothing. And he did a little spot with MJF. He's been out for a while. Definitely was trying to be a part of like the Undisputed Kingdom, and then we kind of seen how that kind of like fell apart just due to him not being there. So the fact that Adam Cole is gearing up for a return, I'm excited. Dude's a great talent, phenomenal talent. I'm very interested in seeing what they kind of do with him, and where they go with the storyline for him.
Yeah, and I would say a similar everything I just said about Dakota. I would say also about Adam Cole. So once Adam Cole comes back, we need to put him in some significant storylines. And I mean, it doesn't have to be a title push right away, but he needs to. He's when he was signed, he's supposed to be a game changer. I love Adam Cole. I love the NXT Adam Cole, and I know his potential. And I feel like his potential was he was he barely scratched anything in AEW since he's been there. He had a couple cool title matches, with Hangman and MJF or whatnot. And the storyline with him and MJF as becoming friends was pretty good for the most part. So yeah, once he comes back, hopefully he gets a good direction.
Some burn.
Yeah, he needs to put in the right direction.
I think it's probably time that we do the Undisputed versus like Elite. I think we can do a full like run of Kyle O'Reilly, Roderick, and Adam Cole, and like have them like do their run that we all wanted to see them do in like the main roster, like WWE, of course. And like I think what's a better time to like capitalize on that than now, especially like the whole trios division and currently tag division. But we'll get into that. Staying in like the realm of comebacks, Raquel Rodriguez is gearing up for a comeback as well. She said this is the best she's felt in months due to her MCAS or mast cell activation syndrome.
And we haven't seen her since Elimination Chamber, I believe.
Yeah, since Elimination Chamber. I'm so happy for her. Like to get her back in here, like back to doing what she loves. I'm so excited. I can't sit here and say that like I was paying attention to Raquel Rodriguez a lot, but just the fact of you coming back, like, and coming back in your own terms, not being written off permanently and whatnot, because this is a very serious thing. So shout out to her. I'm so excited to see her get back on TV.
Yeah, and she'll get a good babyface pop too when she returns. And then it'll be interesting to see because now Rhea's a babyface, and her and Rhea have some unfinished business. It seems like. And and her and Liv were tag team champions together. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how when she is ready to come back, how they put her into the fold. Do they does she return to Raw, or do they just send her to Smackdown just to get a new fresh coat of paint type of thing? So it's very interesting to see what they'll do with that.
Playing in the realm of free agency news here, we see that Daniel Garcia has still not resigned to AEW. Danny's probably out there looking for the best situation, the best bag. And it's funny because this week I was watching AEW, and there's a lot of superstars that could benefit from like, and we talk about like the NXT kind of like push, right? Creating a character, because some of them, they just struggle in the element of having a character. Not everything is purely wrestling related, and AEW is just strong and heavily strong, just like wrestling talent, to where if you don't have the niche wrestling talent, you got to have a character to go with that. And some of them struggle to find that middle ground here. And maybe Danny's one of those ones where like, I want to be the hardcore wrestler, but at the same time, I need to have a character that I can sell this merch and, become a bigger brand. That's at the end of the day, that's what's going to get you the bag anyway, is your character.
Right. And fan reaction.
So, exactly. And there's not a lot that you can do with like, oh, I'm just a Buffalo kid, I'm the New York Buffalo kid. And if you are, I don't know if you can do that better than like Eddie Kingston. Because Eddie Kingston's whole thing is I'm the East Coast New York dude, and like they love him for that.
Chop cheese.
Not saying two can't exist, but
fuck Buffalo, New York. Let's be real. Football season's about to start back up, so my heart doesn't stop pumping.
His meter's turning up. He's turning up right now.
But yeah, no, that's not really a character. And like the dancing thing was cool. Like everyone, like it's a cool comedy shtick or just a cool thing to like do, but it wasn't still putting him in any prominent spots. And unfortunately, a huge detriment to that was being caught in the fucking vortex of Jericho.
The vortex, which he mentioned this week on Dynamite.
Yeah, well, I mean, he trademarked it now because he's so online. He's like, yeah, he's trying to be meta with it, but it's like, no, we still hate you. So, but yeah, I mean, with Daniel Garcia, honestly, like, what if he stays? It is what it is. If he goes, also it is what it is. I feel like, yeah, with NXT he'll have okay, the same reason why people from WWE might go to AEW, like you can argue the same reasons why some AEW stars would go to WWE. Like you can get
Yeah.
like like you said, find a character, find what works, find what gets you, what makes the crowd attracted to you and want to react to you and like you. Then you could always go back. Shit. Like
Absolutely.
so. But he needs
The
to
funny
he
thing
needs to
is that,
find a role to play. Like he needs some. Like he can't just he's a handsome guy. He still needs a lot of mic work. His in ring is decent, but yeah, he still needs a lot of mic work. And he needs we need another reason to like you besides just thrusting your hips. I'm pro thrusting your hips. I love it, but we need something more than that. Like sink our teeth into like why do we care about you? Why do we like you? Etc. Etc.
right. And you are right to where like the same reasons that one will leave, they kind of like coexist to where, for example, like Dijak, great character. Dijak has great character and he has great wrestling ability. Just wasn't necessarily getting the push to where maybe he does fit better in like an AEW kind of situation. To where an Ethan Page, to where like character wise, mic skills, he kills it. And that's where he fits better in that element of like, entertainment and him talking. Still has decent wrestling skills, but he's also like way stronger with like the face card and stuff like that, like just getting in front of the camera. And not saying you can't do that in AEW, just being there as well, because we seen that contrary to like, how it came out, like Jack kind of worked on his character by going to New Japan and whatnot, and shout out to Anna Jay, who's also doing the G1 in New Japan right now, to where like she's taking the talent or taking the time to go over there and fight. Like she's gonna come back ready to go. I'm actually really
Honestly, I
really
think she should
interested
stay
in
because she wants to get some TV time in Japan.
and she's getting burned. Like she's getting burned, she's getting reps.
Yeah,
like,
she's getting a lot of reps. She's getting a lot of in ring time. She posted a picture of her It's going to sound crazy out of context, but she posted a picture of her chest and how red it was from the chops and shit.
The chops,
she working.
She's getting them reps. So yeah, it's interesting. We'll see how where he wants to go. I have no doubt that Tony will figure out some way to use him. I have no doubt that HBK will figure out some way to use him. Danny's in a really good situation.
Yeah.
Sticking in AEW, AEW said that they are hosting All In 2025 in Arlington, Texas. Good old propane.
I would like your take on this and how you feel.
One of two things. One, them moving All In from Wembley to Texas means that somebody's coming. Somebody got that place ready to rock next year, and we got to shake the spot. Not saying that in like a fearful sense, but more so in a business sense. It may not make sense for you to run the same location behind them. So in that aspect, I get it. On the flip side of it, from a fan perspective, I'm interested in seeing this. Like Texas is a big state. Texas has a huge like wrestling population. In Arlington, I don't know how far that is from like the rest of the major cities in Texas, but I think it'd be fine. I mean, I'm not too concerned about like the logistics of anything. I would go. I've never been to Texas, but I would go.
As far as like skipping London for a year, I don't think that's a crazy big thing. I mean, the internet's going to overhype it or whatever, but I don't think that's a big deal or a negative thing at all. My concern is, I wouldn't say concern, I'm just confused on the logic of it. Mm-hmm. And I mean, the logic is obviously they're having in America, they're having trouble selling out or just filling up seats in general. Even for like the esports arena, like they're barely filling that out. So the stadium thing is just a little perplexing, like logistics wise, in the sense of like what are your plans to like how are you guys going to change the way you're filling like you're filling out arenas and stadiums currently versus what's going to happen then? And there's a chance that they might get a Bobby Lashley that might help, but it's like you don't have that many stars right now, that are drawing crazy. So it's just I'm just curious to see how that's going to work. It almost seems like they're working ass backwards. And this is me talking just as just being concerned. I'm not even trying to be facetious. I'm just a little confused, and I'm going to let it play out. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I'm just going to let it. I have to let it play out, I guess.
There's some chips that got to fall, right? I think everything's happening for a reason. I think the Arlington shows in the esports area is showing, do we have people coming in to watch? And I don't know. Maybe I got to see the reports that you had seen, but I thought like they were running the Arlington arena pretty well. I thought like the shows were like packed out and the numbers were solid, especially because I thought they were getting like they got a discount on running AEW in the esports arena. So I thought the numbers for them were doing pretty well, like money wise.
Yeah, they're not doing bad, but it's just also, I mean, there still ain't people on the hard cam side type of shit. Like there's still areas that are blocked out because of the lack of fans
like
that are there
building or the arena.
So
and then also to like double with that is I think we're still waiting for the deal to be announced, the Warner Bros. Deal.
Right.
I think that's going to change a lot. I think the deal's already done. I think they have like their next plans, and with that deal comes a lot of money, and with a lot of money, production jumps up a lot. So I think they're leaning into, once we get this deal, we're able to expand and maybe put more money in different areas, more promo in certain areas, more looks in certain places. So I'm not too concerned. I think everything's leaning on the Warner Bros. Deal. If they come out tomorrow and say, yeah, the AEW deal with Warner Bros. Fell flat, then I would definitely be concerned. Absolutely. But if there's money coming in, that means we're doing something right over here. If they're negotiating with us to get a bigger deal than what we had before, we're doing fine.
Now you want to get into Mark real quick? Pause.
Yeah, we can get into Mark real quick. Mark Henry, man. Mark Henry, wrestling legend, came out and he was on JBL and Briscoe's podcast, I believe. And he was talking about the Vince lawsuit. And he said some very questionable things, at least questionable to me, on the topic of Vince's lawsuit. He says, people were like, you're being insensitive. There's other people that suffered. He was like, yeah, but some of those people that you're all talking about, their sufferings got worse when the money ran out. Where was the suffering when they were getting BMWs and $1 million? Did that pacify the suffering? Because if you're suffering, you should suffer all the time, right? Nothing should get in the way of that. I don't know. I just come from a different time.
I love when people use their age or the era that they're from as a way to be ignorant. Like, I don't know, man. I'm from the '60s, bro. I don't know. It's just different. And it's not. Like we talked about it briefly in our own personal chat, and it's like to an extent, and I mean a very, very, very small extent, I understand why some of these people, some of these older wrestlers have a loyalty to Vince. He changed their life. They were living in cars or whatever the fuck, and he made them all millionaires. So I understand the loyalty to an extent, but there's still right and wrong, and
absolutely,
the dude is wrong. Like when it comes to Vince and what he did, all the without even the Janelle Grant stuff, just over the course of the last couple of decades, how he's fleeced Jesse Ventura, like once Hogan ratted him out about the union. Like, there's so many crazy examples of Vince being a bad person, which is why why there's a whole subsection of fans that don't like. There's a reason like a lot of people don't like the WWE or the Fed as they call them, and it's mostly because of Vince. if not all because of Vince. So it's just
how my bad. That's what's so hard for people to pull away from WWE is that they still look at it as Vince is still there because that's how long he's been there. His stench is still on the company, which is why it's so hard to separate that. We can sit here all day like, yo, it's Triple H and Nick Khan, they're running it now. But in the back of everybody's mind, I was watching WWE in the 80s when Vince was doing everything. He's always going to be stamped with that. And that's a hard stench to shake off. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's wild.
Yeah.
But it's because of the shit that this man has done, the misogyny, the racism, the lack of opportunities, the like just being a weird individual when it comes to like, this celebrity in pro wrestling.
Yeah.
But to get on Mark real quick, like, yo, like, it's okay, bro, to come out here and say like your best friend is wrong or your buddy was wrong. There's
Right.
nothing wrong with that, yo.
Yeah.
Like, accountability is what I would want from my friends.
Exactly.
Like, hey, like, yo, you was fucking up. You're like, that's my boy, but he's fucked up for this. Like, and he got to like sit with this. He got to learn from this.
Yeah.
Like, to come out here and like bash these women and say that like, oh, where's the suffering when you get in the BMWs? So are we equating, the sexual abuse and misconduct with money? So as long as you get this bread, I can do whatever I want to you.
Yeah. That's
Like,
fucked up.
like, fuck out of here, bro. Like, that's weird, bro. Like,
Yeah.
I can't stand that shit.
I can't stand it either. And it's one of the, like, off air, we were talking about the X-Men 97 stuff, and it's just one of those things where it's like, honestly, it might have, in some cases, it's okay to just shut the fuck up. Just don't say anything. Just, like, you could say no comment, or, like, even, like, when we got on Cena and his comments, but the way at least Cena did it was, like, such a politician way to where it's like
Yeah.
he's like, I don't condone what he did, but I'm also not super condemning what he did. It's like, there's a way to navigate it to where you don't seem so pro. You're still, that's my best friend,
Right.
but also just be like not shitting on your quote unquote best friend in public either. Like, there's a way to do it, and he didn't do it that way either. So it's like,
Nope.
just be quiet. And
Yeah.
it's funny because like this is like he's doing this, and it's like your son just got the NIL deal. Like, you were just at, I think it was Raw. This Raw, he was there.
Bro.
So shut the fuck up. Like,
the optics look crazy, bro.
You might not. Yeah, because of this, you might lose a bag now. You're like, just shut up.
It's like, okay, it's like we're going right back to WWE. We got the WWE like signing with my son, and then the next thing I'm gonna do, the same week, I'm gonna come out here and be like, yeah, what Vince did wasn't, they weren't complaining. You just end up putting that stench right back on the company, bro. The shit that they're trying to shake, you keep like open your mouth and fucking shit up. Like, just shut up, bro. That's it. Everybody's trying to move from it in WWE, because even what like Rollins was saying. Like, we're just trying to focus on what's going on here and move past it. Whatever's back there, we want to keep it back there. You know what I'm saying? And there's nothing wrong with that. But don't sit here and keep talking about this dude being a celebrity and you're inside the business that they're trying to shake, or they're trying to shake that image.
Yeah,
Very fucking weird, bro.
Yeah, and it's a weird. It's a we've already said it, but yeah, I just can't stand that mentality, and I don't want to even. It's not even an old head type of thought. It's a it's a thought that even our gen and younger still think.
It's just
weird.
a men thought, man.
Appropriate, or it's like, oh, she wasn't complaining. Like, bro, that's not. You're really missing.
Was complaining. I gave her $1 million. Like, bro, that's fucking wild. Yo.
It's wild. And shout out, hopefully, Janelle Grant gets the W.
Get him back. I hope you get whatever you want, girl.
But yeah,
all of them, because there's multiple victims. Or get whatever y'all want, man.
Exactly.
Run that shit up.
But yeah, just to end it, just to cap it off. Again, just people. Sometimes you got to know when to shut the hell up. Just don't say anything. Plead the fifth. We all seen the Dave Chappelle skit. Plead the fifth. Just shut up.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
just like. Yeah, if you don't have anything positive and conducive to say, just shut the hell up.
Just let it go.
Just let it go. But I think.
All right, so we're gonna go off of that. We're gonna leave Mark Henry where he's at. We got a question. We haven't had a question on the show in a while. The question is: create a makeshift tag team from AEW, from one AEW superstar and one WWE superstar. We actually had this one on the back burner for a while. We could not wait to get this one out to you guys. I got a couple people on my list. I'm gonna start first.
All right, but
and my makeshift tag teams consist of Shida and Asuka, which I think would be just
have something similar,
which would be dope. Brody King and Gunther, I think I don't think anybody will beat that tag team. That's just a hard hitting tag. Takeshita and Ilya. You give me the Dragon with Takeshita, and I think we got some shit going on here.
That's fire. I like it. I like it.
Fletcher and Waller. Now, from the aspect of like they both look like douches, and I think that you can like use that inside respectfully. You can use that in like a promo or like a character kind of sense.
And they're both Australian, I believe, as well.
Oh, did not know that.
I think Vulture's Australian.
Hobbs and Carmelo.
Ooh, I like that.
I think we can cook some shit up with that for sure.
The milk chocolate with the caramel. Let's go. The caramel.
Man,
caramel.
This
bros.
one kind of caramel. That's funny. This one makes sense, and I think I was just in a JD mood, but like Priest and Malachi.
Not JD Vance. Okay.
No. Fuck no. Not JD Vance, not JD McDonough. This is Judgment Day. Priest and Malachi is one I got.
Yes, that would be fucking heat.
Be crazy.
That would be heat.
To throw it in like my powerhouse for my women, I got Willow and Bianca. I think they just tossing everybody around. I would pay money to see that. KO Eddie Kingston.
Okay.
Just brawling.
I can see that. I can see
brawling
that.
workhorsemen. Like that shit would be fucking fun. And then my last one here is exactly. My last one here is Pete Dunne and Pac. Or Pac. Okay. I think that we can work some shit out.
Yeah, I wouldn't be mad at that either.
My theme here is that I just like wrestling, bro. I just like graps. I just like niggas to get in there and grab for 30 minutes. Paul, that sounds crazy. What you got?
Okay, honestly, it's funny because we didn't talk about this, but we have a lot of similar names, just not compared with the same people. So for me, I did Malachi Black and Baron Corbin. I think it ended days into a black mass would be so fucking heat. And they both got tats and whatever. They both like rock. I think it's easy pairing.
Yeah.
I got, and this is a New Japan callback, but I got Kenny Omega and AJ Styles. I think that would. You have them as a tag for a little bit, and then they split up, and then you get the WrestleMania program. I think that'd be fire to me.
That's a cook.
I had Shida in Damage Control. I just said put her in the group. Yeah, put her in the group, especially with this new persona or attitude that she has currently. I think heel Damage Control she would fit perfect. With
Shida,
she would fit
with the kendo stick.
Yeah, with the kendo stick and Asuka. It fit perfectly to me, and it could work as a babyface or a heel. I had Willow and Nia Jax. And the reason
we're in the same okay.
And the reason I chose that is because I feel like attitude-wise, they're the polar fucking opposites.
Right.
And I don't know if you've seen that that Simpsons episode. It's a meme also where it's like Martin dancing around Nelson and like because Nelson just saved him. So it's like you have the mean one, you have the super nice. It would be like Buttercup and Bubbles as a team.
I see that.
And
I can see that.
To me, that would be fucking heat. I think you can do a lot of good character work. And then last, I have Seth and Konosuke Takeshita. Seth and I don't know. I just love it. I would just love that.
Imagine like Takeshita with the Seth drip. Like if you had him come out with like the apparel and like the clean look, he would look like pure mob boss. Like that would be some dope shit to see. I'm here with it. I like it. I like it a lot. I like the list. And it's funny how like a lot of these do pair really well together. Like they pair like pretty fucking solid.
Yeah.
That was our list, people. Hopefully you enjoyed that. Definitely hit us in the comments and let us know what you think about our list and who might you pair from AEW and WWE. Let's get into Raw. Monday Night Raw. What we got?
Yeah, Monday Night Raw in Austin, Texas. It starts off with Rhea opening the show, and she talks about her feelings, and she had time to think about everything. Said Dom stabbed her in the back, and she does a penis joke, which some people pop for, some people were upset for. I'm indifferent. Only because I don't, I can't remember their name. I think it's that one wrestling Twitter. We see it all the time. It's the one that has like the Brock Lesnar, but like they they like really went in. Is like, I hate when people body shame people after a relationship after a bad breakup, which I also hate that. But also, this is a TV show,
I
so
didn't even look at it like that. That
yeah,
is kind of crazy.
it's one of those things where it's like, oh, when you break up with a girl and then all of a sudden your dick was never good. It's like, well,
I still smash though.
yeah, you wasn't saying that for the last 2 years. If you would have said something, we could have worked on it. Communication, bitch. But but also it's a TV show, so I mean, I don't know.
Right.
It didn't have, no pun intended, but he shouldn't have taken it that deep. Which was Rhea's whole joke, actually. So
yeah, that was the whole joke.
that was the whole joke. But Dom and Liv come out from the fans, through the fans on the stairs or whatever, and Dom he tries to explain why he turned on Rhea, and
then he said, "I'm a man. I deserve to be treated like one."
Yeah, I want chicken tenders and to play video games anytime I want. Which I can relate, but it's not, it's also not like there was an opportunity to where they could have went deeper, where they could have, God, sorry, no pun, but they could have went more in depth, where it's like, I mean, he does say you tried to change me, you didn't let me be myself, but I feel like they could have went more in depth with that part, because
right,
again, like, even though Rhea and Damian are the baby faces in this situation, neither of them are technically right either. Like, the Judgment Day have their beast with them for a reason. And Rhea, like, yeah, she fucking choked him out on several occasions, beat him up in front of his family, and then eventually turned him. And it's like, yeah, you got you got jumped into a relationship. Like, can you imagine?
No, that's funny. Like, you gonna love me.
Like, yeah,
boyfriend now.
Yeah, so like they could have went more in depth with that, but the explanation was still a decent explanation. Where it's like, yeah, man, you tried to change me. Liv, I'm a grown man calling you mommy. That part I can't relate to. I'll call Rhea whatever she wanted me to, personally. Whatever you want me to call you, I'll call you that. But that's just me. But yeah, he's like, yeah, got a grown man calling you mommy, where Liv calls me daddy, and she lets me play the video games anytime I want. Like,
yeah, and then he said she did something you never did, which was help me beat my dad.
Yeah, which that part is a fact too.
That is a fact, and it's definitely a callback, because like you said in the beginning, I'm getting choked out in front of my dad, and then I turn with you, and during this entire 2-year run, you've never helped me beat my dad, but this girl comes in for 3 weeks and we get it done.
Yeah, and to get tag team championships,
and the belts,
and a PS5. So
man, it's winning.
It is winning. And then Rhea did have a small clapback where he's like, I kind of wanted you to do it yourself, which is also valid. But, he's helped you win matches. I mean, she did help him win, like, the North American Championship twice. But, I don't know. It's a gift. Relationships are 50-50. Even if you're dating or whether you're just best friends, everything's 50-50. At least it's supposed to be. So, yeah, everything should be reciprocated. But essentially, she hits him with like a typical superhero trope type of thing. He's like, hey, man, I was just doing all this to stall you so that we can find out where y'all was at. And he's like, what? And then you just see Damian, like, just behind them.
Brooding, bro. Just
on some Batman shit. Just
definitely.
Like, and then, we get a fight throughout the stands. Man, like, the camera turns for, like, fucking 40 seconds where it's focused on Damian and Dominik, and all of a sudden you see Rhea, like, really up those stairs. Like, she sprinted from the ring up those, like, yeah, she was moving. And you see them get chased around through the arena and whatnot. But yeah, man, it was a good segment. I think it was a good opening segment.
Where do you think this goes? Like, we already got confirmation that there will be a mixed tag at Bash in Berlin.
Yes, which we talked about last week, or predicted that might happen last week.
For sure. Look at us. Shout out to the Wave.
Yeah.
I don't know. Where do you see this going? How do you feel about the progression of the story and whatnot?
I think it's going well. I predict. So my thing with this so far, which we can talk about later in the show as well, is how dominant the Terror Twins are looking right now. So I really think Dom and Liv need to win. And I mean, we talked about it last week with Roman, and spoiler alert, like what we talked about last week actually happens this week. Like Roman got attacked, and we'll get into it. But like, I feel like to solidify Judgment Day as a threat, still they need to get some. So they need to get their up and comings as well. Like they need to beat Liv and Dominik down. So whether that's Bash in Berlin or whether that's the go home show, or if it's the show after, like they need to start looking strong. Granted, obviously Terror Twins are pretty much taller than everyone in that damn group, but yeah, no, they need to look strong. They need to look dominant now, because it's like, yeah, you lost your Thor and your Hulk, but like you still need to be threatening. Otherwise, everyone's going to take you as a joke at this point.
Yeah,
and we don't want to take them as a joke. Like this supposed like we got menacing Finn Balor, and I refuse to take Finn Balor as a damn joke. So they need to get some W's, because I mean we talked about it too, but I think they'll probably lose the tags relatively soon as well, due to interference from a Dom or a Rhea. So it's like they need to beat down on the Terror Twins. We need to see them get beaten down to make their baby faces pop even better.
Yeah, I agree. I think that we don't want them to look too strong, because they already are strong. They're massively over as far as like popularity. Their characters they resonate with the fans. You got to do something to keep like the keep Dom and Liv stock up, because we don't want to just automatically assume that Bell's going back to Rhea and they're going to lose. Like I need to see something. So yeah. I will agree with you. You are right.
Yeah, and just all the Judgment Day stock, because it's like Damian 2 weeks in a row. Damian beat pretty much all fucking 5 of them by himself, except for not touching Liv. Like so, and then we know Rhea could easily do the same thing. So it's a 2v5 situation, and these two people are still steadily beating the shit out of them. So yeah, we gotta.
And
yeah,
it's funny because that carries over into like the first match, which is the Priest versus Carlito, and like post match, it's just Terror Twins fucking them up like 4v2, and yeah, we gotta like get that under control before it gets out of hand.
Yeah. Yeah. Pretty much. Damian wins that Carlito match, which was good. Carlito was working. It was a cool match. And we almost get a Rhea almost riptides Dominik, but which was about to get a crazy ass pop. Like it's like that moment going up the roller coaster. The fans were like they were fiending for it. But, Liv saves them. So yeah, we'll probably see that at Bashful, and we'll probably see that riptide. Honestly, if they really want to go for it, Damian should choke slam the shit out of Liv. But that's just me.
Nah, I know what kind of nigga you is. You was over there playing Here Comes Pain, taking Kane, and he was just fucking choke slamming Tori Wilson and shit. I see what you was doing.
One of my favorite Batman quotes from Brave and the Bold is, "The fist of justice is unisex. Anyone can get these hands." So,
hey, I ain't gonna lie. If Priest come out there and chokeslam Liv, that'd be my moment of the year. That's funny. Like, did she take a hard bump? Because the last out the heavy he just put on
JD
on JD was crazy.
Man,
with Liv, she's flying out of there, bro.
Oh, yeah, she should go through the ring. Let's keep it a buck.
God damn it. Throughout the show, we get an Alpha Academy promo where Ivy approaches Maxine, and Maxine just chooses to stay loyal because she's not switching up.
Yeah,
which is a little foreshadowing.
Where you been? He's like, hey, I've been doing stuff, but you should stay back. You should stay out this match. Stay in the back. The boys just need to handle this. And yeah, Maxine was like, nah, I gotta stay, loyal to the soil. And Ivy's like, guys. I thought you would say that. Okay.
Bet.
And then, good shit.
Yeah.
Good shit. We get a Bo Dallas segment also. Didn't say much of anything really. I'm not changing my opinion on this team. I still think after last week, I'm vibing with it. I still want some more stories from some of these individual characters, but now is the time for them to tell us, like, their motivations in their in game, because I don't want this team to get gold at all. Personally, I don't think it makes
Nah.
any sense. But I still feel like we should know what their purpose is. Like
who, what are, not necessarily what are you, but who
what the fuck do you
are
want?
you targeting? Like, what do you want? Yeah, like
who are you targeting? What do you want? Because the first
the
week
why.
we see you, the first week we see you kill a bunch of random producers and cameramen. Then you start feuding with Gable, and it seems like Gable still wants to continue that feud. But it's like, again, why are you guys doing this? Like, what? Yeah, what is your goal? I just want to know what your goal is. Like, is your goal to revenge every single person that's been betrayed? Okay, sure, that's fine. Is your goal to be Thanos and take out half the roster instantly? I need to know what your goal is so I can further back you up, because looking cool is fine. I like groups that look cool, and it's the same thing with Final Testament. I've said it multiple times. Like, who are you niggas? Like, you guys look cool, sure, but who are you? Like, what the fuck do you want? Why do you have two managers that don't speak? But we'll get into Final Testament later.
Oh, bro, when I realized that the other day, I lost it. I was like, they have two managers, and both of them don't talk.
No,
What the fuck is going on here?
And Karrion's a decent speaker, like, but the fans, he's still like, they're really trying with him. They're really trying to get Karrion crossover, and it's to the point where, something, I don't know, the shoe needs to drop at some point.
And
like, he's not getting over. No crowd respects him. No crowd gives a shit about Final Testament. And it's like, I don't think beating up the New Day is going to help. Even though New Day's beloved, it's like it's still not helping. Beating up Rey Mysterio, that didn't help.
I think this is helping more so New Day than it is like Final Testament, and they've been beefing with everybody for a good year now. I don't know. I don't know if like you should lean into the aspect of Scarlett, because Scarlett's the manager. That's like the prototypical, respectfully, like the hot blonde woman that everybody wants to see on TV and stuff like that.
The valet,
and I don't know.
There's a different term for the female manager.
Yeah,
the valet.
The valet. Like, I don't know if you should lean into that to where maybe she's cutting the promos, maybe she's executing, like, hey, y'all go do this, y'all go do that kind of thing. That way they have like, oh, she's the ringleader. Because right now Cross as a leader is playing more so the psychological game, but there's not enough entertainment in that segment for them. Like not a lot of like WWE levels of entertainment.
And then you just have this 76-year-old just staring menacingly in a camera, and it's like, what is he there for?
Yeah.
And what is Scarlett like? Get her in the ring or something. Yeah, like if the managers aren't going to talk, there's no reason for them to be there. I don't understand it. It's similar to the fat thing, which we talked about before. Also,
we don't want nobody to lose their job. Respectfully, we're not talking about anybody losing their job, but we're saying create something for them to do.
Yes, find them something to do. Anything. Like, it's just a group of, like, what is it? 5 people, and 2 of them don't say or do anything.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah. Keeping it inside the Final Testament.
Final Testicle.
Jesus. Odyssey Jones has a jobber match. Like what do they call it? Enhancement match? I don't say jobber. Enhancement match.
Enhancement talent. Yes, please.
Enhancement talent.
Dustin Rhodes on our ass.
Enhancement talent match that pushes the story a little bit. After the match, Cross comes out and calls out Kofi for replacing E. As this happens, Woods is trying to cut a promo against Cross, but Kofi takes the mic out of his hand, and you can see that Woods gets a little visibly upset. A little like, hey, like, what the hell's going on here?
Yeah.
In this segment, Kofi then sets up the bit of the final testicle. So,
Testament. And then, Karrion also said, like, whatever Karrion's doing is actually working, low key. But yeah, he was like, he's not trying to he didn't choose Odyssey to replace Big E. He's actually doing it to replace you, my guy. And like, this is a good story. Like, it's good. Like, Karrion is really good at telling the story on the mic. He's just still it's hard for us as fans, or it's hard for majority of the fans to like.
No, okay, I'm gonna break it out for you. This segment of Cross and New Day is a chapter book, and you got to give these niggas picture books. Like, you got to give these fans something visually that they can like attach to. They're not paying attention to like the imaginative like factors of what Cross is doing. He's actually being a masterful like manipulator here.
Oh, yeah.
But you got to sit there and like break that shit down. It's not so much in people's faces, and they're not. It's not registering. You know, that's what the issue is. It's too smart for these regular niggas, bro. It's too smart.
Yeah, I feel it. I was gonna make a joke, but no, I'm good. I feel it. But yeah, I mean, okay, so we get a 3v3 next week where it'll be a New Day and Odyssey Jones, which Kofi did emphasize New Day and Odyssey.
And yeah.
Yes. So like he's not in the New Day. Kofi did emphasize that. But yeah, Woods wanted a 2v2, but then Kofi's like, nah, I got a better idea. Because we know one of them is going to interfere. Let's make it a 3v3, which has logic to it. Xavier's still apprehensive about it, but it does have logic to it.
He's right.
Yeah. I'm excited to see, but I wouldn't be surprised if Final Testament wins this match also. I don't know.
Yeah. We get a Drew Pierce promo where Drew's like, why the fuck does Randy get a title shot? What is he even doing here? He don't even go here. And then I found this very funny because like if anybody had title shots, Drew, you didn't have your shots. Couple of them.
Several.
Sit down.
He won the chamber. He won. I mean, granted, he got screwed out of all the stuff. But yeah, he won the chamber. He won the briefcase. The only thing he did not win this year was the Royal Rumble. As far as like getting a title shot, it's like, bro, like you won everything, bro.
You won everything. You don't need it. I don't want to see Drew next to a title shot. Go do something. Next we get Alpha Academy versus American Made.
American Made.
And my first note is terrible name, terrible theme. I don't like their theme. I don't like this name. I don't.
It's hard. The crowd is trying to, but it's kind of hard. Maybe we got to hear it in person in a couple weeks.
The force you suck chance.
Yeah, it's becoming forced. With Gable's old theme, like it can kind of hit, but now Gable's old theme is the American Alpha theme. But yeah, it's and also the picture of them on the screen when they come out, the Technotron picture type thing is like, bro, this is so MAGA like. Like I know MJF is jealous. I know JBL wish he was 20 years younger, bro. I just know, bro. It is just
these niggas part of the six. This feel like Vought over here. Like y'all niggas is like.
It looks
what
like,
is this?
Yeah, it looks like when America in the first night of the Paris Olympics when they had LeBron holding the flag on the boat and then people are photoshopping it to the revolutionary picture and shit. It's the same shit.
Oh man, yeah, I don't like. I wanted this tag team, but I don't like the way they're being presented. I don't like the production package for them. Wrestling in ring ability, fucking phenomenal, but like I don't like the production, man. It's just it's killing it for me.
And it was a tornado. It was a Texas tornado tag match, which all four boys they were all four working. Man, Tozawa looked great.
Tozawa was working.
It's been a while since we've seen Tozawa allowed to get active like this. I'll say it that way because he's always had the talent. He's a former cruiserweight champion. He's always been good. He just fucking for 3 years he was dressed as a ninja. Anyway, but yeah, all four guys were working, and the Creed Bros are American Made win, and that's because Ivy Niles shows up and attacks Maxine, and is like, "You chose this," and she did. she asked you to stay in the back. Get the hint.
She did. She's just trying to protect you, and I'm okay because like I want to see Maxine get more reps. She was there right before Candice and them went to SmackDown. She was definitely like working and trying to get better, and there was like some kind of like fan push behind her. So maybe they're trying to reignite that ball, which I'm all here for. But she didn't warn her. She did try to like prevent her from not catching these hands.
Yeah. After that, Jackie interviews Pete Dunne on an AEW show. You can tell because all the seats were empty, and then he just pretty much. All right. Anyway, it was a good interview though. But yeah, he's like, "Don't ever call me out name. I don't like that name. You know, that's my dead name. You know, it's very pro trans life, and I like it. That's his dead name. Don't ever call him Butch again. Damn it.
Yeah, he didn't like it. He said, for 2 years I've been Sheamus' little brother. I'm an 18-year vet. And I was like, damn.
Yeah.
He's right.
Yeah.
So, do you think they get a match in Berlin? Do you think you can run it back with Sheamus and Pete in Berlin? I would.
I mean, you could, because they're both European to an extent, you know.
I think like they would
Irish.
But see, we're already getting a Graps match for Berlin. You're getting that with Gunther and Randy. I don't know if they give me two.
I mean, they might. I don't know. But yeah, so real quick, confirmed. We got the Sheamus, or no, I'm sorry. We got 2 world title matches. Oh no, yeah, we got 2 world title matches, and then we got the strap match.
And then we got the mixed tag. That's 4.
Mixed tag. All right, yeah. So we're missing 1 match. So I don't know. It could be them. It depends on if the story is big enough to be a PLE match. Because Pete Dunne, he's beefing with he's on NXT beefing with motherfuckers, and he's on Raw beefing with motherfuckers. Like,
and I'm thinking about
he's active.
the element of like the mid card. So like IC's kind of open right now, and then United States is open. So there's no stories or like I mean, there is one with LA and Santos, but it hasn't built up to where I think they put that on Berlin.
That match is. I want to say it's advertised for next SmackDown.
Yeah, so you are right. It's an open one. I don't know who. Maybe Spooky Girls, not Spooky, but Alba and Isla for tag, women's tag. They've been pushing women's tag a lot.
Yeah, I think that's announced for one of the Raws or SmackDown also. I want to say that's Raw. There's supposed to be like a triple threat.
Okay,
maybe I'm tripping.
I don't know. This last match is. It's open.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, we get a promo from Shayna talking about how like they should have been the rightful tags because I made Jade tap. So that's a nice little callback. We then get Damage Control versus Pure Fusion Collection.
All right, hate this name. Hate it. Absolutely hate it. I understand. Like, it's supposed to be because they wrestle and some of them are MMA. No, it's bullshit.
Pure Fusion Collection.
It sounds like a video game achievement you get in a Dragon Ball Z game, where it's like you finally did the fusion. And it's like you got the Pure Fusion Collective achievement, silver trophy. That's exactly what it is.
Ulta.
Yeah.
So what is Pure Fusion Collection? Removes acne in 86 days. Like, what is this, bro? Like,
it's a terrible name.
It is. I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
Pure Fusion,
but they have a good match,
or just Fusion. The Pure Collective would have even been better. Doesn't mean anything to me. Doesn't make any sense. But it just comes off the tongue better. Pure Fusion. There's so many. And then Pat McAfee was calling them PFC. He's like, are we gonna have to abbreviate this whole thing because of how dumb? Because
it's such a long name.
It's like imagine Will Ospreay saying it with peanut butter in his mouth. That's what it sounds like to me.
Yeah, it's not a good name. It's not a good name. It doesn't do anything for the characters either.
No.
Like, it doesn't make it aggressive. Like, these are like hard hitting women between all 3 of them. Like, where is like that level of like, okay, this is a tough team. Yeah. If they announce like, oh, your new women's tag team champions, Pure Fusion Collection, that sounds wild to me, bro. Like, that's no.
Yeah.
No.
Honestly, I mean, I'll keep it a buck. The Stud Line is a better name. Big Swole, Cedric Alexander's wife. She posted I think it was the Stud Business or something. I don't know. Both of those names are better. Even though it's a joke, those names are better.
The Stud Business. That's fucking wild, bro. They had a good match with Damage Control. EO's out there taking the lead as she should. Match ends with interference from the current women's tag team, Alba and Isla. So we're looking at like some kind of triple threat tag team, I believe.
Yeah, I want to say it's advertised for Raw. I think.
So we're definitely getting that.
Randy who knows? Bianca and Jade might show up, and then we might. Well, no, it seems like they're doing a 3v3 thing. Never mind. All right, continue. Yeah. So after
Yeah,
that, we
that
get
would
the
have
Randy
been
promo.
well, shit. At this point, you could do a trio versus trio versus trio.
Yeah.
Like it's a
Well, no,
possibility. I mean,
Damage Control's missing a person though.
oh, I
Missing two
meant
people. Oh,
between Cocoa Butter Combat Club, Isla, Alba, Blair, and then Pure Fusion. So you can
yeah.
still do you can work that somehow.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
I
Yeah. You could.
um we get a Randy promo talking about how he's going for his 15th World Heavyweight Championship, and that he thinks that or Randy's out in the ring. He says he thinks that Gunther forgot who he's talking to, and I was like, talk that shit, Randy.
Yeah.
Let these niggas know who you is.
And Randy was talking that shit because Gunther eventually interrupts, and he's talking cash shit too. Like he's yeah, he's like, man, your grandpa was a screw up, your dad's a screw up, you a screw up. And then Randy was also talking cash shit and saying, he's like, man, my wife is hotter, my bag is bigger, my car is sexier, my nigga. It was almost like a rap beef. He's like,
nah, they was barring up for sure. They was definitely barring up. This man Gunther said, in my future era, Randy, you won't play a role. You're not even a thought, bro. Like I'm a
Gunther on the mic is so good.
Bro, the nigga said prediction number 1, I'm gonna give you the beating of a lifetime. 2, because of that, you'll never be world champion again when it really matters because you always screw it up. And I was like, damn, this motherfucker is like, he just know how to hit you. He know how to hit you like with these words, bro. And like, it's like, hey man, fuck you, man. You don't know me.
Yeah, for real. For real. But
enters Drew.
Yeah, Drew comes out. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's Drew because I mean it was hinted with the Priest thing. Drew's like, yep, Scout's honor, I'll be good or whatever. Scout's honor. Yeah. But yeah, Drew comes out. Looks like he's about to, I don't know, either attack both of them or at least attack Gunther. But then Punk comes out of nowhere because it was advertised that Punk was having flight issues, troubling schedule. I don't know if that's a nod to last week's AEW or if that was just the way that.
Damn it, man! I didn't even think about that. Yo, if that I hope not. Cause I don't want to say like these shots exist, but if that was a shot, that was a great shot because that went over my head entirely.
But Punk attacks him. Drew has a small comeback. He takes off his belt, but Punk reverses it. He gets the belt. He beats the shit out of Drew with the belt. Drew runs off. It's simulating, or it was hinting at a strap match, which thus later gets confirmed. I think like on Tuesday or Wednesday or whatever. And then while that's going on, Gunther has his back turned to Randy. Something that you never do, ever.
Never do.
And even as a friend, just never do it. And we get an RKO out of nowhere, and it was great. How do you feel about how do you feel about stories intertwining? Because this particular Raw, like you see a lot and they've been doing it, but I feel like they're starting to finally find their groove with how things intertwine. Because like later on, there's a backstage segment with someone talking, and you see Gunther upset from getting RKO.
He's like slaps the fucking
slaps the water and shit. And
it was a Punk interview post this match or post this segment. Punk's getting interviewed, and this is where he announces that he's doing a strap match. You see Gunther in the back just slapping shit around. I like the intertangledness of it because it just makes it seem like it's all one world. I'm definitely fine with that. I'm also fine with it because of the way WWE is able to like show you the left hand, but you're not paying attention to the right. Like some of this shit may tie into something else.
Yeah.
I think there was doing I think when Gable first got hit by the Wyatt Six, the next promo he did when he's coming back, the Bliss was on one of the trailers in the back, just to kind of like make you think like, oh hey, maybe you should pay attention to this. So they're really good at that. I'm okay with like the stories intertwining because of the way they're able to like control the details and control the narratives and give you what you need to have when they want you to have it. My thing is, how do you feel about a strap match? This is one of my favorite matches. Strap matches are great.
I'm here for it. I mean, I'm here for it because in WWE we haven't seen it since The Fiend versus Daniel Bryan.
Yep.
And then the last other one, which Punk and MJF, or no, that was Dog Collar, I think. Or was that a strap?
Yeah, it was a dog collar. It wasn't a strap match.
I'm sure the last strap match I've seen was in AEW, though. But as far as WWE goes, the last one was like in 2021, and that was Daniel Bryan versus The Fiend. But yeah, with Punk and Drew, I think it should be good. I mean, and we'll have a regular ref. But, their last match was good. Punk looked great, and obviously we know what Drew can do, and Drew's absolutely fantastic. And with this match, I think, we're going to hear a lot of smacking.
I didn't catch that. I didn't even catch that because, like, during this segment, Punk did hit Drew with the belt and left those, like, the marks on his back. Mm-hmm. So he was just even more so foreshadowing, like, the strap match because, like, if you don't think Drew going to get his lick back, you left marks. I gotta hit you back.
Yeah. And I think we're gonna get the 3-peat. Whatever. I'm assuming Punk wins this one, and then we get the third match at Bad Blood.
So here's something, because during that promo, he was asked, about why he wasn't there, and he said he told a little lies to make sure Drew didn't run. And then he's like, it's not about the bracelet. Drew can keep the bracelet, and I lost my goddamn mind. I sat there and I was so pissed off. I was so tight.
Okay,
not like realistically.
You didn't finish though. It's like it's not
about the bracelet. It's about my name and my dog being on his arm. It's about that. My wife's name. Fuck that shit, nigga. What the fuck this whole time, nigga? We sitting over here looking at this goddamn bracelet. We trying to figure out the story connection to this shit. This nigga over here like, it's not about that. I almost flipped this goddamn table over. I was like, ain't this some shit?
It's the principality.
6 weeks of this goddamn fucking bracelet to use just for you to come out and be like, man, ain't even about that shit. Respectfully, I get it because like it was your wife's name and your dog's your family. It's the principle,
And he's keeping it in his pocket, around. And shit. He had it in his drawers that last match. I think because we're I don't know where he pulled it from. He pulled it from his drawers, didn't he? Nah, bro. Bro.
Yeah, my wife's name, nigga. It's like, god damn it, man.
Using the bracelet as a AJ
in the world, god damn it. Like, it. Yeah. I was like, these motherfuckers. How do you feel about now the bracelet not having as much like meaning anymore? Like, because what do you think about it?
I'm fine with it only because like the way Punk explains it, he gave us exposition that I'm fine with it, and I feel like they did it. I feel like there's I don't want to say swerving. I feel like they're turning away from the bracelet being the focal point because of two things. One, similar to what you were saying the last couple weeks, and two, with the other show, the Ufafala being such a big thing. It's like, do we really want two jewelry items being a huge, crazy focal point for storyline? So I feel like it's a combination of the two to where they're kind of like skidding away from it. I mean, the bracelet still means something, and Punk explains why it's not the bracelet itself. It's the fact that his wife and dog's name is on there, and his dog is, his dog is his child. It's his pet baby, So, it's more of the principality and the symbolization of the bracelet, not the bracelet itself. And I feel like that's why they're kind of deviating. That's another good word. Deviating away from the fact that it's not the fact that it's a bracelet. It's what the bracelet means.
And I guess there was the breadcrumbs, like, I think the week before, because, like, the whole promo was that Drew was trying to get his attention, and he says, like, his wife and, like, shit. Like, he's egging him on with, like, personal shit, and that's what kind of made Punk flip. It wasn't even the bracelet. It was just him, like, talking about what was on the bracelet. So I guess from that aspect, they were trying to tell you or show you that. But that, it's almost like too little, too late kind of thing. It should have been day one, Drew out there like, oh, he's injured. Why is your wife AJ with somebody like you? And then I'd be like, oh, damn, this man talking about his wife? Oh, you gotta fight this nigga. And I would have understood from the jump that, yeah, he was talking about this man's like family. At this point, Drew just got to kidnap Larry.
Man, that'd be heat. I'm here for it. Did you see the post I posted yesterday in the other chat with the two female rappers beefing?
I did see that. I didn't know if that was real or not, but I did see that when she stole his dog or stole her dog. That's some some
Yeah,
devious shit.
I don't know if that's really there, but yeah, she stole her chains. Like, well, if you ain't gonna give me my chain back, you ain't gonna get your dog back, bro. That's some real mob type shit, bro.
And the cool part about I'm thinking about, like, from the aspect you stealing somebody's dog, you probably treating the dog fine, dog eating okay. Like in every like crazy mob story, you see like, oh, the kid's fine, he's over there playing. You know, it's just the fact that I could have took him.
Yeah,
Like that's like the psychological warfare right there.
ooh,
But
honestly,
yeah,
Punk should steal the sword that The Rock gave him. That's what he should do. Steal that sword. You want?
And then Drew takes Larry. That's funny. That would be funny. It wouldn't be the first time Larry's part of something backstage too.
Oh yeah! Now who has the topical jokes? Let's go. I love it.
Oh fuck. We get Bronson Reed versus The Miz after R-Truth sets him up earlier in the show. Talking, he lets him know, like, oh man, I got you a title shot. You know, you got an intercontinental title shot tonight.
Against Braun.
Bronson Reed. And he's like, that's not Braun Breaker. I don't want to fight him. So we get Miz versus Bronson Reed. This is where we see that Mark and Jacob are in the building because Jacob Henry signed the NIL deal. And my first thought was like the build for Bronson Reed is working. I think taking out Seth Rollins kind of like it helped him. It helped him out a lot. So now people are paying attention to like what he does next. It's just very important to make sure that you don't, fumble this. Not saying they do or they will, but like keep him elevated. Storylines have to be important. He can't fall to the wayside.
Yeah. To not like I did like watching these. I hope Wardlow was watching these last 2 weeks because I feel like to me it's just like if WWE fumbles this Reed push, it'll be similar to what happened with Wardlow. If they don't, then it's a good example of why Wardlow should be like, that's how you make a new monster. That's how you make a new monster, whether it's heel or babyface. So that was and either other monster types like when Obifemi comes up. When he gets drafted to the main roster, I'm sure he's going to be a damn beast, as he should be.
Check this. So I was watching something. I think it was the Great Muda. He's in like a Noah promotion or Noah like interview of some sort with the two NXT talent. And he's talking about how he wants Omos in New Japan, and I'm like, that works for me.
Yes.
Like that works because in Japan you could still use the tall guy as the giant attraction. That still works over there.
Yeah.
Like. Yes,
and not even to make it a racial thing, but like, there's a reason why, like Japan and China loves having like the semi-washed basketball stars show up, and why they get a bag, and why they're still like super talented. Like, there's a reason, like there's certain cultures, certain races, they draw in other countries, literally because. Like, Brock Lesnar is a big, crazy white guy. So anytime he showed up to Japan, it was like a big deal. It was like, that's fucking Brock Lesnar. New
Japan hated him, by the way.
Yeah, New Japan did hate it. And for good reason. But it still, like, drew. It was my point. And
it was still a draw.
And Omos, this tall Nigerian monster,
giant.
People would,
oh my, bro! I saw that. And I was like, that's the smartest idea ever. Like, I would 1,000% love to see Omos and like Noah like working over there. Like,
did you? Because that came out today. Did you see that he replied to it?
Nah.
I mean, it was pretty much just the emoji saying like OMG or something, but he replied to it. So it might happen. He's not doing anything right now. He hasn't been doing anything. I mean, he's been doing like press and stuff, I guess, similar to like Titus O'Neil, who was on SmackDown actually.
He was.
So yeah, he's like doing the ambassador type shit. But yeah, now that MVP is officially gone, he doesn't have a voice or a mouthpiece. He needs something to do. Yeah, send him.
Because you would create a character and you would still polish your skills in the New Japan style, and you would be working with people smaller than you to where like when you come back to the States, it's all easy. Like you didn't have the reps of running between all different sorts of like styles of wrestlers. Especially if he can like have the range and the ability to like slow down and then also speed up, like, oh man, it'd be great. I'm all here for it. Yeah. That would be fucking amazing.
And it just helps the working relationship for future endeavors and deals and whatnot.
I'm here for it. Anywho, we get multiple tsunamis that ends this match as well. Several
to R-Truth. He kills R-Truth.
Yeah. Yeah, and I was watching. I was like, man, this man just don't give a fuck about nobody. The people come out from the back to try to save R-Truth, and he's just still climbing the turnbuckle. Like, y'all gonna get out the way, y'all gonna get hit. Like, no hesitation, no care. It's like when you watch like a 3-year-old jump off the couch. It's like, you shouldn't be doing that, but the adrenaline rushing you're just gonna keep doing it anyway. And that's it. He's gonna go through and just start splashing people. He's tsunami Truth. I would expect Truth to be off TV for a little bit. Not realistically, but like
at least 2 weeks. At least 2 weeks.
At least 2 weeks.
It gives Miz something to do next week where if he wants to avenge his friend, he can, and then he'll suffer the same fate.
He would indeed suffer the same fate. We then get the Braun Breaker versus Sammy best 2 out of 3. Here's my take is that I wanted it to be longer. I knew that the match was going to have it was going to be a little quicker because by this time I think it was like we're 2 hours and 45 minutes into Raw. So I'm like, okay, this is going to be like a 10 to 12 minute match, including like, commercials and whatnot. Or without, including commercials. So I was like, fuck, I would love this to been like one of those 20s maybe that we can kind of like get the the anticipation of, oh my god, he stole one kind of thing.
It should have been it could have been a little longer. Pause. Before we get into the match, how did you feel about Braun's entrance? Like him talking before the music started, and then he seems to have a catchphrase. Like it just started, but it could catch on. He's like, "Is there any dogs barking out here?" or some shit like that.
The dogs are always gonna get over it.
Yeah,
the dogs like that's.
I'm feeling it.
Yeah.
But it's like similar to the acknowledge me, similar to like, is there anything you want to talk about? I can see a world where like when he picks up the mic, the first thing he says, "Is there any dogs out here tonight?" or something like that. And motherfuckers, yeah. I don't know. So I guess I was asking how you feel about it. Do you see?
I like it.
Do you have any? Do you think it has any legs to it?
Yeah, for sure. Because Braun Breaker got legs right now. That man is it's scary, bro. Like he's the most exciting young talent we've seen in a while, and we could have seen this in NXT 2.0 when he came out like there and he was going crazy. We knew that once he hit the main stage, he's here.
Yeah. Him kicking down that styrofoam X, I was like, oh yeah, that nigga's
here. He just has like it's just an aura, bro. Like it's a character aura. It's like it's a draw that people are just like attracted to. It's the reason why like he is the IC champ right now. Mm-hmm. It's like we couldn't put you through the ringer. We couldn't have you go through the respectfully the Mello and Ilya and Lyra like walk. You got to go this way because we got to capitalize on you right now.
Yeah. Like he is, he's the future Roman, or in 5 years he's
that draw.
Yeah, assuming they don't fumble, which I don't think H will, but no one's perfect. But yeah, assuming they don't fumble him, and he's cool enough to where obviously like we talked about it before, where it's like I don't know if he should be a heel. I think he should be a tweener, and honestly, I think that might happen once he loses the title. Or it might happen right before he loses the title, because I can see it. I can imagine like him versus Bronson Reed at some point, and Bronson being that big heel, and that's what gives him that face push. Wow. But yeah, man. I'm digging it. I'm digging it.
It's exciting. It's like 03 Brock. Like you just want the young guy who's just coming in just to tear shit up and leave. Like the spears. Like it's just exciting fucking moves with him. But back to the match. A sneaky haluva kick gets the first pin of the match. He's going, from turnbuckle to turnbuckle. He gets caught off guard. We now 1-0 throughout the match. One part of the match was dope is that Sammy tried to hit a moonsault and it ends up getting like just reversed into like Braun Breaker just tossing this man. Like it's just like the power that Braun Breaker has is like he's good. He's really good.
I don't remember what part. Oh, are you talking about when he like lawn darts him into like the chair on the outside? Yeah. Seeing that from the other angle, I was like, Sammy, bruh, you ain't got shit to prove, bruh. Because the original angle was it still looked scary. It still looked like a crazy spot. and I don't mean scary as like I was fearing for his life, but it's just like it looked like it hurt. But then I saw it from a different camera angle. I was like, oh no, that that motherfucker
that man into the
you.
chair. Like, yeah, bro. Like, who are you, man?
Yeah.
So that was fucking crazy. We get double spears for the second pin for Braun. So now it's 1-1. And as like the match is breaking down, Sammy climbs the ropes. Braun looks for a Frankensteiner and then gets knocked down. And then as Sammy tries to finish the move on the ropes, he gets speared out of the fucking air, and then we get 3-2 or 3-1, or 2-1 Braun Breaker. Now, I guess my question is that, and we already talked about a little bit, is that do you run it back, or does Sammy go and do what we all want him to do, which is the bloodline things?
I think I think him and Sammy are done. Sammy, yeah, he lost twice now. He lost 2 in a row. So
Yeah.
I think he's done. Obviously, Jay already hinted at them going for the tag team titles. That might be the 5th Berlin match. We might get that might be it. Who knows? Yeah, no, I think the storyline's done, and we'll probably get him and we'll probably get Braun and Ilya now, or yeah, I don't know. They similar to what we talked about with the tag teams. Like they got to flesh out this mid card division now, and like so we know exactly who's in this mid card division. So yeah,
Right.
Like, who's next for Braun? I'm assuming it's going to be Ilya, but after that, then what? It might be Bronson. Like I predicted. Like I think Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker would be a good feud, especially if it makes Braun more of a tweener / babyface, because people don't want to boo him. Like the dog barking thing, it seems to be getting over a lot. So yeah,
And
I think
whoever you pair with them, they got to be able to. The dog's barking can't kill that character that he's going against. So you got to put him up against somebody who's able to handle the level that this motherfucker's coming in as the crowd favorite. So whoever the next opponent for Braun has to be somebody who can hold his own. A Sheamus, but like Sheamus is what Pete doing right now, but like somebody who can like not be killed by outside, aura.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was Raw, people. We're gonna take a quick break real quick, and then we're gonna get into some AEW Dynamite, and then follow it up with our review for SmackDown.
Warp drive.
Welcome back from the break, people. Let's get into some AEW Dynamite. Show kicks off with the CEO Mercedes Mone versus Shida.
I have a.
I enjoyed the match. I thought what
it was a good. No, I was gonna say. I watched the first hour of the show uninterrupted. It was a good match, and I have a question for you before we get into this.
Okay.
How's your Spanish?
I mean,
this isn't a trick question.
Solid.
Okay, because I feel like if the show continues to go the route that it's going, the only way people are going to be able to watch AEW is on Telemundo. So,
what's wrong?
You guys better get ready to learn your Spanish, buddy.
What does that mean?
I don't know. I'm just
elaborate.
I
What's
honestly,
wrong with you?
I just without the TV deal, this might end up on the ID channel or something. Might end up watching this on between Impractical Joker reruns.
Jesus Christ!
But again, I'm being
Fucking shit.
facetious. Sorry to cut you off. Hikaru Shida and Mercedes, it was an actual good match, and personally,
It was a good match.
I want to see them cook longer because these,
Yep.
as far as the work women in this company, if you take away an Athena, I think Shida is in that top 5 of like actual like really good in ring like workers. If you take away a if you take away Tony / her gimmick, and you take away an Athena who's fortunately in ROH Vortex, then like you got Mercedes, who's obviously one of the best in ring women ever, which is why she got the contract she got, and and then I think Shida is like highly up there as far as this company goes. I love Shida. I'm a huge Shida fan, and I thought it was a good match for what it was.
I think Sheeta's in the KO role, just a plug and play. Like you can plug her in any situation, any feud, and like she's going to give you a great match no matter who she goes up against. Like, she's what 3-time AEW champion. Like that doesn't happen, for no reason. So she's definitely like one of the premier like players.
Yeah. I will say though, if I had to nitpick anything, the ending, I have a problem with the ending, but it's one of those situations, and it happens. It's also in the main event. It's like who's the heel and who's the face in this match, because Shida just turned, like when she returned this last month or so, she's been the heel, and Mercedes is also currently a heel, and they were working heel-ish, so it kind of made the match a little confusing in that sense, where it's like who's the heel, who's the face in this. But again, it was a good match. It was a solid match.
Yeah.
It was.
And I was looking at the list of like the talent that was wrestling today, and most of them have like clear cut heel baby face like roles. And I can agree. Like right now, I don't know who would be the baby face, and this is definitely not Mercedes. But then Sheeta is also beloved by the fans, but she's also more aggressive.
In this
match, I don't know.
In this match, Shida should have been the face or was the face.
The face, yeah.
It just wasn't based on the match, though. You couldn't necessarily tell that.
And I think you could, just based off like the way the ending did happen, to where Camille ends up kicking Shida in the head. So it's like, okay, outside interference, they're jumping the baby face. So you knew, like, based off like those little elements.
Yeah.
That Shida was the baby face. But yes, Camille ends up interrupting the match by kicking Shida in the face. It sets up the Moneymaker, which I still don't like that finish. I think I love Mercedes, but I think that finish is just trash to me. It's just because it looks like it hurts, bro. Like it looks like it's not fluid, it's not smooth. It only looked good on camera when she first came and did it. Day one.
Her stands are like, it depends on who takes the move. And sometimes that is accurate. Like some people take the stunner a lot better. Some people take the pedigree a lot better. But in the Moneymaker instance, almost besides that very first example, and I think like one other one, like it all looks kind of bad. You're right. It doesn't look fluid. It looks janky. It's awkward, and it's like it's one of those moves where I don't remember. Did she hit that on Nyla Rose the other week?
Yes, okay. She did hit it on Nyla.
So, all right. So it's like she can do it on Nyla, but it's, I don't know. To me, it's one of those.
She did it on Willow too, and when she did it on Willow, it just looked like because she's so small. If this was like Wardlow doing this move, it looks kind of crazy because like it's the bigger dude with the muscles, like the frame is bigger. Like her frame's so small compared to the talent that she's working with that it just looks awkward.
Yeah, like because not every move can be done to everyone the same size, and that's why that's why I like finishers that was like the code breaker. You could that's why Jericho switched to the code breaker, because like you could do that on anybody. It doesn't look like it because it looks awkward putting Big Show in the fucking walls of Jericho, type of thing. Or
that's true.
That's why I like Seth Rollins Stomp. You can literally do that to anybody.
Anybody.
So
RKOs.
Yeah,
anybody.
Yeah. So it just looks awkward. I think she should go back to the bank statement, call it the money statement or some shit. Who gives a fuck? But yeah, it looks it does look awkward.
Or
And
maybe use that as like a signature for certain like talent, and then just focus on like is the bank statement the submission lock that she does?
that was
Like,
that was the submission move she used to do. That was her
yeah,
finisher in the E. So I would
I
say
would just focus on that.
make
Yeah,
the
that's
moneymaker
fine.
the signature. Money maker them into a bank statement. I would say do that.
That's cool. I'm okay with that. Post match we get Britt's music hits. She looks for her through the at the entrance. Definitely not at the entrance. Camille attacks a fan wearing the Sting mask, thinking that it was Britt again. That was not the case. She just jumped some random fan, and then we see Britt come out through the crowd, and why am I drawing a blank?
Mercedes
Scares off Mercedes out the ring. Yeah, and
well,
Britt
okay,
puts
she
him in
didn't.
glove and whatnot.
Yeah, and this is where I have a problem with the ending, just because it also I don't know because so the music comes out, Camille just starts attacking a fan, which the fan was dressed how Britt was a couple weeks ago, so that's
Right.
why she did it. But we never we don't. She doesn't take off the mask of that fan or anything to know that it's not Britt. We know
Not
that
Britt, yeah.
we know that it's not Britt because we see the camera pans to where we see Britt coming out of the entrance or the crowd, which she's walking kind of slow, and then she gets on the ring apron and she's putting on her glove. Now I don't know if she was doing it too slow or if Mercedes turned too early, but the cues or the timing was off because Mercedes turned and Britt is still putting on this glove, and Mercedes does not react at all until Britt gets in the ring. So it feels like someone was either too late or too fast. And then she almost gets her in the lockjaw, or she's setting up to get her in the lockjaw, and then like Camille kind of does like a light shove after like 30 seconds of already trying to not 30 seconds, it was like 15, trying to just pull her out of the ring, which I don't know how I guess she was maybe too far. I think they were too centered in the ring to where Camille couldn't like just pull her out like how normally a heel would pull out or their friend before they get in a move or whatever. Mm-hmm. So I don't know, just some of someone missed a cue or something was a little off. So that would be my nitpick with it. And again, I'm using the word nitpick, so I'm literally nitpicking it. But it was just a little off.
You're not wrong. You're not the first person I saw that talked about like the timing with everything, which is also interesting because like there's a jumbotron in front of you. You could see the cue right before it happens if you're turning facing like the screen, and that way when she does put on the glove at the right time, then you can turn around. Yeah. But you're not wrong. I saw a lot of people talking about the timing and like maybe Britt was like milking camera time, and I'm like, that's not how this works. I just think like miscues happen. Like the girl was gone for 2 weeks based off a suspension. It's all right. Still not indifferent, but like my meter for like excitement for the Britt CEO match is not as high as it was based off the last pay-per-view. So based on when she was like announced, I knew that was going to happen. So I'm in the middle. I'm at a solid like 5 out of 10 right now on the Britt CEO match. Like the promo and like the backstage and everything hasn't really got me too excited, but I'm looking forward to seeing the match, I guess.
Okay, so real quick, based off the three women's programs that we have, would you say that you're more excited for Mariah and Tony? Would you say that that's the strongest program out of Mercedes and Britt, and then out of Statlander and Willow?
Yeah, I think Tony and Mariah have been giving me enough of like the back and forth of like Tony shows up and attacks. Mariah's throwing these promos, but she had another promo this week where she's calling her out and like, so like I am more excited for the Mariah Tony, Stat Willow for sure because just of what the history of like losing your belt and like them turning on her. So yes, and it's fucking crazy to say, but yeah, DMD CEO is number 3 on my list for women programming right now in AEW.
Yeah, I would say I want to say it's the same order. But I would put the DMD CEO almost tied with the Willow and Stat, only because Willow and Stat, they're going to have a 0-hour match, and it's going to be a mixed tag with fucking Ishii and Stokely, and I'm like,
I did see that.
Why are we doing this?
I did see that.
It makes no sense.
Okay, yeah, I forgot about that. Switch it. They're DMD CEO at 2, and then they're at 3 at the mixed tag. Yeah. Yeah, I forgot that was mixed tag. If it was 1-on-1, definitely swap it, but mixed tag doesn't do anything for me. And maybe they just want to stretch it for All In, uh, which is like 2 weeks or 3 weeks later and whatnot.
Or all out.
Um,
I get so
All Out.
confused.
I get confused too. All Out, my bad.
Word. Okay, yeah, that was it.
Next match was Lethal versus Hangman. I like that. I like unhinged Hangman. I like the fact that like he thinks that he's the good guy in all this that happens. And while I was thinking about it, if you have somebody break into your house and terrorize your family, are you the bad guy? And they leave you because you let somebody break into your house. Like, are you the bad guy? I don't think he's the bad guy.
No, Hangman is justified in his anger.
And then you get fired by your friends?
It's not being portrayed correctly, to my personal opinion. He's
right.
Like, sounds like Batman. He's upset. He's in these random matches. Like, he had that random match with Darby and like, this match and someone. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, no, he's not wrong. It's the similar thing that we were talking about with Judgment Day, where it's like, this Swerve broke into this nigga's house and held his baby. I'm sorry, I would shoot. I'd have to shoot somebody. Like you're a cowboy, bro. Where's your revolver at? Because I'm just like,
where's your revolver?
It'd be Red Dead where I'm at. You want to talk about Red Dead Redemption? That would be the real redemption, shooting that nigga. But
and maybe that's long term booking. Maybe that's the long term story that they're trying to tell. Is like this man is lost, and like he got to make it right by fucking killing off Swerve. Which I do think that's the guy who's going to end up taking Swerve's belt from him. But I do think they should portray that story a little bit better, to where like from me just watching, I could see that he thinks he's not bad. He's coming out through like the baby face part of the tunnel through his matches. But that's like stuff that you wouldn't know unless you watched AEW in detail. But yeah, I think I definitely like the idea of him being like the good guy that people are like, man, he's just fucking crazy. No, the man is fucking distraught. Lost his family, lost his home, kids, lost his elite group, and is losing matches to people he shouldn't be losing to off roll-ups and shit. Yeah, I'd be mad too.
Yeah.
But once again, long-term booking with this. They gotta orchestrate just a little bit better for me. That's how I feel. In this match, it looks like it's just unfinished business that Hangman has had with Jeff Jarrett, to where like his interference in the Bryan match. That's why this match is happening. And it makes like
he didn't hit Lethal hard enough in the head with that microphone. Personally, should have hit him a little harder. Let's keep it a buck. And also, Lethal was just like shaking off the hit. It's like, bro, he's hit you with he hit him with the microphone like 6 times before the match started. You shouldn't be fighting back. But big ass ball head. So I don't know. I don't know what. Yeah, but right man won. I'll say that. Wait, no, Hangman won. Yeah, right man won. Mm-hmm. Let's go.
Yeah. Nothing more or less about this. I think we get more of Hangman's story after All In. Right now, his build-up gives me, and I say this very loosely, don't come at me, but it gives me like Stone Cold before Attitude Era, to where like he's just being an unhinged like fucking heel face kind of thing, anti-hero. But not to this, once again, loosely, just he's very aggressive. He has an attitude. He doesn't like nobody. That's where the similarities like stop for me. Next match on the list is, or not next match, but we get a Pac promo. He's a little pissed off that he doesn't have an all-in, he doesn't have an all-in match. He then says that it doesn't matter. In 2 weeks, he'll get his, or 2 weeks after All In, he gets his shot at the title in All Out in Chicago. So whoever wins between Will or MJF will, see him eventually. Still think he should be on the card, but also I get that sometimes when you go over like your home area, like you want to spend time with family and stuff like that. So maybe that's what this is. I find it very hard to believe like you don't find a spot for Pac on the show. Right. So I'm just going to lean into more so like he wanted to spend time with his family. Hopefully, I don't fucking know. Maybe he comes out and he's on the show and he's going to sabotage one or the other. But I would want Pac on the All In show. I personally want that.
I mean, I've said it before. I don't know. To me, it's weird because he won that global 4-way last month. And that title has been MJF has defended that title in Mexico and in Europe. I'm about to sound like a Joe Hendry song, but he's defended this title multiple times, and we're still in Pac's still waiting for his moment. Like at this point, I'd beat up TK too. Like we're like, what do we like? Why does he have to wait this long? And like
at some point, you got to Bronson Reed it. You got to take matters into your own hands.
Exactly, because like, bro, like you won that global 4-way in it was like mid-July or late July or some shit, and you got MJF defended all over the country, and you still haven't got your match, and you got to wait for Ospreay Ospreay and MJF too.
Wait for them to finish
in your home country also that you're not on the card for. Like, nah, at this point you should.
Yeah, I'm running it up.
Yeah, at this point, like I would have forced a triple threat. Like if we're being from the POV of Pac, if we're talking kayfabe, at this point, if I'm Pac, I would have forced a triple threat. You got me fucked up. But, it is what it is. But, yeah, he has to wait 2 weeks after, which I'm assuming is the All Out show. If not
All Out.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It makes Pac look a little goofy, in my opinion. But
it does seem a little odd. Like I said, he should be on the show. Like, I don't know. Maybe he's going to happen. Maybe they're throwing us for a loop. Maybe this is just to, like, kind of gauge fan interest. But I don't know. We get a Darby promo. It's him and Jack in the back going, or Darby comes out.
Before that, though, we get a Mina. Mina comes back, and Mina looked very nice. Just had to say that. Take your shots. Everyone, take their drinks.
We did get the Mina promo.
He said the thing.
Yeah.
Which I'm confused because she's indifferent. It's like you didn't like Tony until that one match. I don't know. Go kiss Mariah. That's what we want to see.
Yeah, she was,
and that's not even trying to be
heartbroken.
Freak man. I'm not even trying to goon out, but that's what we want to see.
Yeah, she did cut her promo where she was like shocked and heartbroken. Never seen Mariah so vicious and Tony so obsessed with revenge. Like she's just like doesn't want nobody to get hurt. And I think she's just playing coy. I think she's going to choose her side, which will be with Mariah.
I would hope.
Hopefully.
So. Hopefully. Trying to see real love, bro. I love seeing real love flourish. You know what I'm saying? I'm real romantic.
That's funny. Jack Perry and Darby backstage beefing. There's supposed to be a promo for Darby. That wasn't going to happen. Jack ends up slamming the garage door on this man's chest and tries to take this man's head off with this goddamn audio cart. And I thought they were going to do it. I didn't see everything else in AEW. I was like, him rolling this cart into this man's face seems pretty on brand. But
I would have done it.
He doesn't. He gets stopped by security, and then he says, I'm going to beat him at his own game. And at All In, we're going to do a coffin match, which I haven't seen in a long time. So I'm like, I'm okay with this. Like the casket matches or coffin matches, like it's been since like Prime Undertaker Kane. The last time I saw one or seen one that I cared about.
Wait, AEW's never done. They never done.
They have. I thought they have, but like I can't remember what the stipulation was.
I know because I remember Jack Perry burying Christian.
Yeah, you're right. He did do that.
But that's not a coffin match. It's a buried alive.
Buried alive? Yeah.
Huh.
But I thought they were the same concept.
I mean, yeah, it's the same concept. You're putting a motherfucker in a thing.
Yeah.
Closing it. But
so we have our first specialty match for All In, which is a coffin match.
Which I will say this because Darby did kind of bar him up. In the little lack of promo that he did have, he was barring him up, which is like, hey, bro, I don't give a fuck about you. You haven't done a damn thing here. I mean, he was saying everything that most people feel about Jack Perry. Like, what have you done, bro? Like, honestly, you should have been fired. Like, and then he said something similar to that. You should have been fired, bro. All the bullshit you was doing, you chased our biggest star away. You should have been let go. Like, no one gives a fuck about you. Who are you? Yeah, no, Darby was barring him up. It would have came out better than if someone else said it. But no, Darby the concept.
Is Jack the Draymond? Is Jack the one who is the problem child? He's the reason why Katie left the Warriors. Is that Jack Perry?
They still got a ring after Katie left though. So
this is also true. You can't say that. This is true.
If anything, Jack is the Jordan Poole.
And they still shipped him off. You're right. Damn. That's a double entendre right there. That's crazy. on both sides. Fuck. We get the Casino Gauntlet qualifier match between Roderick, Orange Cassidy, and Kyle O'Reilly. These men were working. I liked it. I liked this match a lot. My only issue is that OC Orange Cassidy, I feel like has like the biggest like plot armor right now.
Yeah,
and I don't know what it is because like Roderick is great, OC is great, and maybe Kyle O'Reilly, OC is great too. But maybe for Roderick and Kyle, they're just saving it for when Adam Cole comes back. Maybe that's why they don't want them to get involved in anything. But fucking Orange Cassidy is like a Kingdom Hearts boss with like fucking 8 fucking bars of like health, bro. He's unbeatable. And when he is, it's like, all right, now we're gonna put you in the next big thing. If you can't tell, my bad. He won this match.
No, he won. It seemed like he was going to win already, like before the match started. But Strong was really the better worker in here, and the way he was chopping. Granted, there wasn't a lot of people there, so you could hear the chops better. But the way he was chopping those motherfuckers was loud as fuck. It sounded like gunshots. I feel like if Gunther would have heard it or Pentagon was there, they would be proud. Because he was slapping the shit out of those chests.
Right? Yeah, man.
But yeah, like didn't Strong and O'Reilly already fight though? So it's like, what are they holding off exactly? Like, I mean, if Adam Cole does like, and also when O'Reilly did come back, he said he wanted to do his own thing, which I'm pretty sure that's why him and Strong already fought because. Riley came back when Strong was champion of when he was the Intercontinental or Continental.
Yeah, International. Yeah,
International. Yeah, so I don't know. I hope there's a vision. I hope there's a long-term story, but I'm not seeing the vision right now. I don't see. I don't understand.
Maybe it's like because we're so accustomed to the way WWE does their booking, we know we can predict out plays before it even happens, or be close to like the play. With AEW, there's no predicting anything. I don't know. I'd have no idea what's going on. Because even when we were sitting here like, oh yeah, Ospreay's going to beat Swerve at or at Double or Nothing, and he's going to get the belt. But we thought that was too early. We predicted it to happen at All In. They're not even fighting each other at All In. So our predictions for AEW are just out the fucking window because we just don't know anything. I don't know if that's a good thing or if that's just based out of like pure like chaoticness with the booking. Either way.
Some people would say it's a good. I would say it's more bad than good. It's good to it in the sense where it is a little unpredictable, but it's so unpredictable, which is kind of what makes it bad. Because at this point, there's no like. The reason why it leans more towards the bad than the good is because there's no story for us to follow. Like the reason why people can semi-predict, this is what might happen. Like, I mean, we've obviously made good predictions, but even some of our predictions are wrong. On both shows, and that's because like we're following, like with WWE, we're following the story, and if they do something different, we still get rewarded for paying attention. They just deviated to it where it's like it's a plot twist at that point. It's a M. Night Shyamalan plot twist. On the AEW side, it's like we're paying attention to this shit. We're not super getting rewarded for it because it's almost all over the place. Where like, but there is still long-term story elements. I'm not going to say don't have any. They do have some. It's just there's so much. It's very convoluted to where it's hard to follow it. So then that's why people are like, AEW has no storylines. Which there's true aspects to that argument or that that point. But they do have some. It's just hard to fucking follow. So it makes it feel like they don't have it.
Yeah, it's I'm going back to my book analogy. It's now we got a book with pictures and chapters, and we're both fucking confused. You're giving us one of the. I need one or the other.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with everything you just said right there. I'm indifferent on the predictability because sometimes, like you say, we don't want to have everything be predictable, but we also need some clear cut success. Like this is a story, this is a story, this is a story. And I feel like they give it to you just in points of, let's say for example, right now I think like the way Swerve has been handling like the championship and him being the champion has been done really well. But on the flip side of that, the Bucks and like this tag team is like we're supposed to care about the Acclaimed and the Young Bucks, which spoiler they're on this card, and I have no care for either one of them teams right now, based on like it's just the same regurgitated like shit.
Yeah,
I've seen the same story they're telling with. Yeah, exactly. I'm seeing the same story they're telling with the tag team belts. They told with this exact same trio or team with like the trios. Like there's nothing different here.
Ooh, I can't wait. Okay. I'm glad you brought that up because let's continue the show.
Yeah. We get a Claudio and Okada promo next week in Cardiff. You get the Continental title on the line.
All right. I have another question, real quick. How does Claudio get beat in a promo battle versus Okada? How?
Oh man, but comedic Okada is just different. Like he's just funny, man. But even then, Claudio took on the back end was like, I don't care about that funny shit. That's the reason why I'm like, we didn't bring you here for the funny shit. I want G1 climax Okada. Like bring that person. Leave the funny motherfucker at home. I don't want him. So
right, but Claudio really didn't get into that bag until Okada left. So you should have said all that shit when he was there, though. Like,
no, for sure.
It's just weird.
Because Okada came out and said, He said, I'm the greatest tournament wrestler of all time. The 4-time G1 winner, and you're gonna respect me. And then good luck, bitch. And I'm like, damn. Fuck.
And then Claudio gets in his bag. It's like, bro. You should have been grinding, like, as much coffee you drink. You should have been in your espresso, my nigga. You should have been in your cup, bro. You should have been in your... I don't know. It's just weird.
This would have been a cool promo to have them do individually. Like, if Okada did his segment and then Claudio did his, it would have felt a little differently. But the fact that you guys were together and you did this promo, it's like you got ate up by this man. And then he walked away, and then you got your shit off.
Or the camera split. Like
that too, that too. It's not in person.
Yeah, not in person. I feel like that would have been better. That way they could have like taped it a little bit and like edited it,
Right.
Yeah. Anyway, my bad.
Let's see. We get quick little Hook promo with Learning Tree. Jericho gives him his title shot at All In.
All right. This is what I said I want to talk about, or I didn't want to talk about this, but the piggyback. Hook and Jericho are going to fight for the FTW title at Wembley.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Do you remember what Hook did at last year's Wembley?
No.
He fought Jack Perry for the FTW title. He's doing the exact same shit. There's zero progression with Hook, and Hook should be one of their hit. Like it's hard to, and I hate to do the comparison, the apples to oranges thing. But Hook and Dominik came in at the same time. Their trajectories are completely different. And granted, they're also in different companies. But Hook is doing the exact same shit he did last year. Fighting for the FTW, again, a title that's not even technically recognized by the brand. It's not a real title. It is. I'm sorry, but it's not a real title. It is what it is. He's doing the exact same shit. And that's my problem with Hook. Like, I love Hook. Hook should be, like...
Was... This the real glass match with Jack? Was Jack fighting Hook at that?
Yes.
Okay.
That's what started the whole scene. Like, so fast forward a year, Hook is still doing the same shit.
And it's not better. It's not better than last year, the way like Hook was being pushed. I think Hook is suffering from A, the Jericho Vortex, B, not having a true like character. I think like his aesthetic was the not talking, let me just go in and just beat people up kind of thing. And people loved him for that. I'm just here to fucking brawl out. But when you have to have him go in a promo, his weakness right now is carrying a promo and like a believable character. Like the beanie with the eye patch thing, not cutting it for me. Like it's just not resonate. It doesn't look good on camera. It looks ridiculous.
Yeah, dude, look like a Saints Row character or something. Also, the fire happened like a long time ago.
Like 3 weeks.
I think Joe was still there when the fire happened.
The fire happened. Yeah, it was like 3 weeks. I don't know, man. It's like I understand the idea of like selling the eye and selling like, oh, he burned me in my face and whatnot, because that's just a part of wrestling. But that's just not translating. This is probably one of like the weaker promos currently. I think he needed Joe and the Shibata. I was looking forward to like their trios and stuff like that, because Joe's able to like he's able to push a segment into a different area. Without Joe, it just crash landed.
And we don't know when he's going to get back because we don't know how long filming is going to take.
Exactly.
God forbid if this feud is still going on, when he could return.
It bet not. It bet not. I think after this, like personally, if I was Tony, I would personally retire the FTW at All In. Let this be the last one. We don't need it. We have way too many titles. It just ties up, other superstars that can be going in other places. Yeah, but anywho gives him this title shot, but next week he has to fight Big Bill and Carter, so you'll see Hook versus Big Bill. Then we get the Bucks versus the Acclaimed tag team match. 115 days since defending. Not good. You know me, I don't like that shit, bro. If you want to play part-time and have belts, just don't do it. Just be part-time. But on the opposite end of this is that, okay, if you get the belts off of the Bucks, it just goes to the Acclaimed, and they just have the trios. It's like, this doesn't do anything either.
No.
I never thought, like, I would have seen, like, AEW lost in the tag team, like, division. I thought they had some really good tag teams that they could have used. But as of right now, things are pretty stale. This is definitely, like, their weakest division so far. This match itself was good. I did enjoy this match. I enjoyed watching this match. There was initially Billy gets ejected. He gets tricked to holding a chair, so like there's no Billy Gunn at ringside. Max has a dope like military press spot that he does that was clean. Matthew Jackson powerbombs Bowens on the entrance ramp. That was really fucking hard. It sounds like he got powerbombed in like a fucking bowling alley. And then the ref gets hit, and we all know when the ref gets hit, the shenanigans starts. That's where all the bullshit starts to happen. Matt gives a low blow to Caster, and then tries to use the title to win the match. At this point, FTR comes out for the save, and then Matt spits in Dak's face, just a nice little hawk tua on that man's face. And then forcing a DQ, and as they all brawl, Acclaim's pissed off that FTR fucked up their match. We find out that next week on Collision, or this week on Collision, FTR versus Young Bucks, or FTR versus Acclaimed, winner faces Young Bucks at All In. When I think they should have just been a triple threat tag. I would have been cool with that too, but it looks like we're getting.
It probably will end up being. It probably will end up being a triple threat. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it probably will be, honestly. Because you said what?
That's how
the number one contenders match is at Collision, right? Is that what you said?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then I'll probably get interrupted. Well, shit. That's if the Young Bucks even show up on Collision. But
and that's the thing, bro. We ain't seen them on a Saturday. You think they work Saturdays?
Not since CM Punk left and they did that fake ass victory lap. But my thing, honestly, this week's episode should have been the number one contenders match, and it should have just ended in the DQ, thus setting up.
There you go.
And maybe that's too WWE brain thinking, but I don't know. To me, it's ass backwards. You have the championship match, it gets DQ'd, and now since that championship match gets DQ'd, we're gonna have a number one contenders match with the people who DQ'd the match versus the people who already had their right to get that title match and was actually in that title match. It makes zero sense.
Yeah.
And no one cares about any three of these teams anymore.
No. It's like the elite stuff kind of buzzed down. Like I said, people were just tired of the Acclaimed. And then
people are tired of FTR now too, because all the we're tired of hearing the Raw speeches, and also the way that they were booked against the Young Bucks. Young Bucks, sunned them the last couple times for the most part.
And the thing is, I think last year they did FTR versus Young Bucks at All In.
Yes.
So if I'm predicting, I think it has to be either the triple threat or you just do Bucks versus the Acclaim to make it different. If it's FTR Young Bucks 2 at All In, I guess because you can still do it.
Two.
But it's not even 2.
It's definitely not 6.
It's 6 or 7. Yeah, we can pass on this for a little bit.
Yeah,
unless it's like a stipulation match. If it's like, oh, we'll fight you, but it's in like a steel cage and you got to climb over, whatever. Other than that, I would predict that it's probably going to be Bucks versus the Acclaim, just to be different. Out of that, We got a really cool historical like video package for Daniel. They're really playing into like, this is going to be his last time wrestling, and they grab footage from like Ring of Honor and a couple of those indie shows and whatnot. And this leads into the Swerve versus Yuta, which Bryan Danielson is at ringside watching Yuta, which is his protege. This was a good match. I'm not mad at the Swerve versus Yuta match at all.
It was a good squash, but to piggy,
but that's what I mean.
Yeah.
It made the champion look like
as
why
he should. Should.
When we first talked about it, I think it was like he fought Fletcher, and you were like, man, like their champion should look like a champion. We have now got that 3 months later, and he went in there and made Yuta look. You're not ready for this,
which I'm
not okay with that.
I meant to.
No, he's not.
Yeah, in the questions, I did have another tag team, and I meant to. It was Wheeler Yuta with a bag of charisma. I think that'd be a great tag team. But I swear, bro. To piggy, or this is what I was talking about or foreshadowed earlier when we were talking about Mercedes and Shida. Who's the heel? Who's the face? Last week in that promo of JR, Swerve explained why he finally turned babyface. On that same show, he comes out on, at the end of Bryan's match with Jeff Jarrett, saying pretty much, I'm going to cripple you, all this other shit. I'm going to fight your boy. This week, he demolishes his boy. So now he's back a heel. He just explained last week why he finally turned babyface. What the fuck are we doing here? Who's the heel? Clearly, Swerve is playing the heel role because he's saying, I'm going to cripple you. I'm going to cripple. I'm like, fuck you retiring. I'm just going to cripple you, and that's going to make you retire. Even though the match is career versus title, I'm going to make you retire. So you're putting the hat on the hat over there. But then you're like, you just said you were a babyface, and then you come out and you're like, oh, I'm going to cripple you. Like, you're not the babyface now. Like, so it's like,
he did leave hints last week to where he was like, what happens when this man's body gives out? Like,
that's a good.
He said he wanted to cripple him. He said he wanted to cripple him last week. He just gave you the PG-13 version.
It's just again. It's just like, who's the heel's face? Because obviously,
damn well,
Terminator 2. Fuck you, god damn it. Sorry, you guys, Motorcycle Man, but
yo, that's funny.
It's just one of those moments. Again, it's like, you guys.
He's not good. He can't be the face against Daniel. He has to be the heel. It's just like. We all know that.
Yeah, no, he has to be. It makes sense. But what doesn't make sense is the fact that he finally, after months, because he's been champion for like 2-3 months now, he finally explains why he became a good guy, or why he turned to a babyface, and then later in that same show, he goes back to heel. Then at that point, you should have had the JR interview the week before, or I don't know, or explain why he turned face.
Ever since. He's been barring Daniel up as far as like, saying like, that's a good, like, telling him about his family or talking about his family. Don't promise me, promise them kind of thing. He's been leaning into like heelish like things. So I don't know. Maybe I've been perceiving him as a heel this entire time.
Which is fair, but it's not fair in the sense where it says, because when he was a legit heel, Nana wasn't doing the dance. Nana's still doing the dance.
That's true.
And in this feud, you are correct.
Okay. No. And I got something for you because you are right. So during this match, right, like I said, it was a great match. They're bashing, like going crazy. Swerve ends up like house calling Yuta 3 times. Match ends due to referee stoppage because this man house called him 3 times, was beating him down.
Technical knockout. He was stomping the shit out there, bro.
He was fucking him up, right? As the match ends, Swerve's going to the exit, says, at All In, Daniel's daughter will sit in the same seat he sat in, and she's going to have to watch you retire, watch you as I force you to retire, right? Man makes a lick back. He U-turns, comes back, kicks Daniel in the side of the head, right? Boom, Daniel's on the ground, fucked up. He then does the yes chant. And when your crowd's supposed to say no, these niggas is like, yes! So you are right in the aspect of like, he turned the yes chant into his shit. And they're cheering him on as the heel. So you are right that it's who are you? What are you? Are you the babyface? Are you the heel? The crowd wants to see Daniel lose. Like, I ain't never seen the crowd do the yes chant for somebody else. It's always been no. Anytime somebody does a yes chant and it's not Daniel, it's always like, no, we're not doing that. Right. They were chanting fingers up, yes, as this man got kicked in the head.
Yeah. And then it's, I mean, we talked about before, AEW, they prefer heels, which is, why they love, like, that's why Swerve was super popular. Why they eventually gave him the titles, because they loved his heel work. And then once he became babyface, it's kind of been give or take, whatever. But, yeah, and my last question or whatever is just like, where was this energy with Swerve when he was facing Ospreay? He let this nigga hold his title like 3 times before he finally reacted. But
yeah, I think that was the story too. I think that was like, I've been trying to play good. I've been trying to like do this the right way. This man held my belt, didn't respect me, and now I had to end him. And after he ended Ospreay, that's when he got his mojo. That's when we get this version of Swerve who's just like, fuck everybody.
But then that negates the Jim Ross promo.
Yeah, but like I said, the Jim Ross promo was like, it was like somebody talking to like their parole officer. You're just saying all the right shit just to get out. At least that's how it could be. That was Dynamite. I thought it was a good finish. I thought that match was really good. It would have been my match of the week, but there's something on SmackDown that just got your boy cooked up.
Man,
there's some on SmackDown got your boy cooked up.
Man.
Before we get into SmackDown, I do want to give a quick shout out to just a spotlight of 2 superstars. I was watching Ring of Honor Death Before Dishonor earlier today, and I peeped the Diamante Layla Hirsch match, the just death match they had. Fire fucking match. Shout out to them. I peeped it. If you have a way of seeing it, definitely check it out. The women are great. SmackDown,
Orlando, Florida. We start off with the celebration of the new champion, Queen of the Ring, Queen Nia Jax celebration with Tiffany Time. The ring is decorated. You have Pretty Deadly doing the musical. I loved it. Yes, boy. They were kind of off sync. Obviously, one of them has rhythm, one of them doesn't. We'll get into it.
Like, I was like, I thought my headphones was messing up because shit was so off rhythm.
No,
I put them bitches back on. I was like, no, that was them.
Yeah, no, they did. I don't know if they practiced that enough or not. I thought they were in Jaguar Stadium with the production sound. So you got Matt Castor's mic all of a sudden? What the fuck is going on?
Fuck.
But yeah, Nia is like, I need everyone to bow down to me, and that includes you, Tiffany. And Tiffany's like, what? So like the dynamic between them is pretty good. It's leaning towards Tiffany. Whenever she does cash in, assuming she cashes in on Nia, she might become a face. Which I don't know. I mean, Tiffany has been a face briefly in NXT, but I feel like she's a better heel. But okay, real quick before we continue, how would you feel if Tiffany became a face based off of this relationship? Because it seems like it's becoming, the younger sister, the older sister, and obviously Nia is kind of a bully.
It seems similar to the Nia Bliss thing, where Nia was like getting bullied by Bliss, and then that's how she had her big moment and got the belt and everything like that. How I feel about Tiffy turning face, I'm okay with it, depending on who she fights and where this outcome is going. Because in my head, I think the only way Tiffy goes face is that if she fights a Charlotte, right? Because I want Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte, and I think that'd be fucking great. Even though we don't have a timetable when Cybernetic Warrior's coming back, Charlotte as a heel is way better than she is as a face. And I think that's going to be a good match to have. So if it leads to her potentially fighting Charlotte as a babyface, I'm all cool for it. But Tiffy's like current heat is from her being a heel and being an asshole. Like that's where a lot of like the fandom comes from. So I don't know if I answered it entirely, but if she's going to face a big marquee like heel like a Charlotte, I'm all for it. If she's not going to be facing like a Charlotte or like a Becky or anything like that, keep her in the heel range and let her go. But it seems like the story they're telling right now is that she's going to get belittled by Nia, or little sistered by Nia, and that's what's going to make the cash-in happen.
Yeah.
At least that's how I see it.
And as far as the women goes on SmackDown, it's almost 50-50. There's a lot of like you got the golf trio, You got Nia, they're heels, and then Tiffany's a heel, and then the faces or the Black Bombshell Club and Michin. So Charlotte, assuming she stays on SmackDown, she probably will stay a face / tweener for a minute. It really depends on when she comes back. We know when she comes back, she'll probably instantly get a title shot. That's not even shade. It's just facts. Just facts with history. So I mean, if they deviate, then I'll be surprised, honestly. And we know Shotzi. I mean, we don't know her timetable, but she should be back, at some point, and she's a face. All right. Anyway, we'll continue. But yeah, so that celebration gets interrupted by Michin, who comes out with a kendo stick, beats on everybody, including Pretty Deadly. They look good, and spoiler alert, that's going to be the first program. That's going to be Nia's first feud, which obviously, if you've been watching the show, you've seen them fight.
They've been telling that story, for a while now,
for a minute. So, and then after that, we get some hooping, bro. We get Melo versus Andrade 3, and
hold on. We got a nice Cocoa Butter Combat Club package.
Oh yes, very very demure, very very mindful,
very very demure.
I fucking hate that thing. I only said that to be topical. I hate it. I don't understand it. I hate
it. I just said to be cool. I don't know what the kid's saying. Is it Riz? I don't know.
I understand Riz. I'm
so out of the loop.
Like it's one of those moments where I will be fine with being an old head. I don't get it. I don't understand.
Oh, for sure.
I get Riz. I understand Riz. But we get a little backstage promo with them, and then Melo's like, "You want to come to my after party?" And they're like, "After party?" And Jade's like, "Aren't you 0-2 against this nigga?" He's like, and they're like, "Yeah, all right." And they leave, and he's like, "They still watching my matches though."
They still watching my matches. I love it. I love that shit so much. Bro. It's like, they still watching my matches.
He puts on the headphone, and spoiler: he didn't have an after party, but he went to the club after because his real life girlfriend, Klana Jordan, North American Women's Champion. Yeah, they were at a club. And he was celebrating. Funny. Because they were in Orlando. Bro. So like, also another reason why because we see NXT stars there. They were in Orlando
all throughout the show. Yeah.
But yeah, we get Melo versus Andrade 3, man, and they were fucking hooping. They were in their fucking bag. And if it wasn't for the match that's later happens in this show, like
I'm telling you,
this could have been like this could have easily been the match too, bro. Like because these
cooking, man,
bro. It
was cooking, bro.
Melo wins. Melo wins with like a roll up maneuver thing, which is similar to part 2 that they had. But
he reverses the message into a roll up.
Yeah, and man, I don't know, man. It was just a good ass match. I like what they're doing with this feud because there's no title involved.
Nope.
But it feels like a real rivalry because after this match, Melo's celebrating a little too much, and like Andrade was even trying to give him his props. He's like, "All right, you got it." Like he clapped. And Melo was just like really just egging him on. And he's like, "Nah, man, I won." Like he's like, "You got to raise my hand," type of thing. And then it got to a point where it became a pull apart brawl, and it's like this is a real like. And this is the kind of thing that we want, and especially like just in wrestling in general, where not everything needs to involve a title, especially when it comes to the women. Like because like we need storylines that don't always have to involve a title. Like we just want good storylines. Like this rivalry feels real as shit to the point where they had a pull apart. There's no reason.
Niggas got
if you think about it, like. In hindsight, like, did they need a pull apart brawl? No, not necessarily. This isn't Roman and Fatu or Seth and or Punk and Drew. But like, no, like based off these last 3 matches, based off of like how everything's been presented, like it's a good ass rivalry. Like this is like like these motherfuckers they ain't fucking with each other to the point where producers and shit have to pull out or come out.
I miss like building real rivalries that like that's not like one-offs. Like this is a rivalry because we don't fought each other 3 or 4 times, and like you got the best of me, I got the best of you. Like I love this. You also got to understand that like he was talking a lot of shit. Like he's sitting there cheering in his face and everything. You got to realize that the last young nigga that got in Andrade's face got punched in the face.
Yeah, and that's real life. Hey, Sammy Guevara, what you doing? You in ROH? That's wild. But
I really can't stand you, bro. I swear, I promise you, bro. Jesus fucking Christ. Oh, fuck.
But yeah, to piggyback off what you were saying, it's good to have it's good to have like real rivalries.
Build
where,
that.
like
Yeah.
build that and keep it consistent and do it for the women.
Keep it
please.
fresh. Do it for women and keep it fresh. Don't give me no, like, we got 3 hardcore hitting matches between Andrade and Carmelo. These were great fucking matches. And they all felt fresh because these workers are great. And the thing is, like, when you see that lightning, capture it, bro. Give it to me.
Yeah, it reminds me.
This is the first time WWE's doing like the respectfully, like doing like the AEW thing of giving you, oh, you want 3 matches of good shit? Cool. Remember when we got the Luchas and Elite and like it was best of 7? Yeah, like give me that, bro.
And in WWE, the last time we saw that, NXT, they had Nathan Frazier and Axiom. They did like a best of sort of. And they became a tag team and became champions. And the last time we saw that in WWE would be Cesaro and Sheamus, where they had like a best of 7, and that shit was heat.
Yeah.
And eventually, what happened? They became the Bar, and they ran the tag team division for a while.
Like you see the chemistry just build up. Like it gets people excited to like watch them wrestle.
And
shout out to like Andrade.
And he's getting over. Like he still doesn't have a manager. He still does need to work a mouthpiece, but he's getting over with the audience based on having good matches. And Carmelo's doing the same, but also he's also able to talk. Like he's getting those random backstage moments, talking shit and all this other stuff. And honestly, I need a best of 7, bro. I need NBA rules. Matter of fact, next match I need an Iron Man. Fuck it, like because we already got a 2 out of 3 this week, so I need an Iron Man. I need to see them. I need a 15-minute Iron Man match, maybe 20. I need something let them cook. And honestly, we talked about the tag team divisions. They could be a tag team for a little bit. Raw desperately needs it. Obviously, not a lot of people on SmackDown are going to get time. The more Bloodline stuff that happens, the more Cody stuff that happens. I wouldn't be upset. Like if it's just a one-off, like a couple months, that's a 3-month tag team run or something. I don't know.
I'm not mad at it, but there's a lot of other tag teams that still haven't got like flushed out yet. Like,
true. I need
we're
pretty
looking at Baron and Apollo.
Yes.
DIY.
DIY is flushed out. They flushed out.
Not really.
They flushed out.
Not really.
They had a 29-day run. A 29-day run.
That's crazy.
And they had a Black and Gold Classic on this exact show. But we'll get into it.
They title reign came with an eviction notice. That's crazy.
When it comes,
I assume they got a pink slip.
When you fighting a Samoan or a Tongan,
I get it. Speaking of Tongans, we got a solo promo.
Don't like it.
He says if he takes back the Ulafala, he becomes tribal chief, and he's talking to Tama, and he's like, well, you got to acknowledge him if he takes it back. That's if he takes it back.
Yeah.
And he's doing the inhale, deep hale promo voice, which I just like.
Yeah, he went back to that. That's what I don't like. I did like the explanation of the symbolization of the Ufala. Jesus, I'm sorry.
You got to respect it.
I cannot pronounce this word. I'm going to sound ignorant every time. But like he actually, he gives explanation on it, and it makes it seem important. It's like, I'm the tribal chief since I have this. If he takes this, he's the tribal chief, and then you have to acknowledge him.
Then I have to acknowledge him.
And which also sets up other story elements to where, like, hypothetically, down the road, let's say Roman does get this. Let's say, like, whether it's pre-war games or whether it's after war games, let's just say Roman does get this back, but then the new members they don't obey by those rules. So that sets up other future Bloodline versus Bloodline shit.
And you can tell, like, when he said that to Tama, like, he was like, huh? I ain't acknowledging shit. Like, he kind of, like, didn't respect that saying. Like, Solo was trying to, like, let him know, like, hey, this is the game. Like, he get it. You got to respect him. And you got to acknowledge him. And he was looking like, oh, the fuck? I don't. Like,
so, like,
over this necklace?
I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I can see a storyline. I can see a multiverse where Roman gets it. And then Tama, Fatu, and Loa, they're like, nah, fuck all that. Like, and that's when The Rock appears. And then that could be the fucking War Games match. You know, where you still don't need a Sammy or Jay, and you can still also get the same story elements. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I'm saying like.
But there's multiple threads.
Yeah,
there's threads
like,
that you can use with this.
They can go different routes now, and that's just based off that simple explanation or exposition where it's like, whoever holds this, whoever holds the crown, whoever sits in the Iron Throne for Game of Thrones heads, like whoever sits here, whoever holds this necklace, you are the chief, and you are supposed to be acknowledged. So then, what happens if people don't respect that fucking rule? Then where do we go? Like there's so many elements.
There's so many different elements. It's actually kind of crazy. I think we're getting really good at like just breaking it down and seeing how like everything can play out. Like our analytical sense in starting the pod it's peaking, bro. It's getting crazy. Can we just watch it so much that you start picking up on so many different things?
Yeah. I will say this. I didn't understand a single thing that Thomas said in this clip. Didn't understand it. Didn't understand a single fucking word. Like I almost put subtitles on my TV. And then there's another one. There's another promo where he comes back. Bro, I didn't hear a single fucking thing. And I got a nice sound bar. I have a nice TV. That's not even trying to flex. I have a nice TV. I have a nice sound bar. I didn't understand a single fucking thing he said. And I'm sitting down watching it.
It's like I'm just sitting there nodding and smiling, just like his customer service is like, yeah.
He's
That's
literally
crazy.
the Tasmanian devil.
Crazy. I don't know what you said. That's crazy.
He's literally the from the Wild Thornberries. Like, what are you saying, bro?
Nigel, it's like, yeah, that's the.
Like what?
That's funny. You're not wrong. I didn't understand shit, but I was nodding like he's spitting something, and they responded. We get another promo, another Missile 305. You broke niggas ain't worldwide promo for Giovanni Vinci.
Hey.
And he's killing it. Yeah. I make the joke, but the production in his promos are fire. Like they are good. Yeah. They're clean. It looks like some movie shit. Like he's speaking Italian, he's speaking that shit. It's all slick and whatnot. The only thing I did not like is that he says he's coming to conquer SmackDown, and that could be furthest from the truth. Like the way this SmackDown landscape is right now, you're not conquering SmackDown. It's okay to just say, "Hey, I'm on my way. I'm coming," but conquer is a very strong word, Mr. 305. I need you to like tone it down a little bit.
Would you have preferred if he said in Italian, "Ooh, I'm about to make a name for myself here"?
Yeah, for sure. Definitely would have took that. You coming over to conquer? We got Samoans kicking people with a walking boot on. You ain't conquering nothing over here, all right? Let's just hold it down. Yeah. It will be interesting to see where he comes in, who his first match is. If the promo thing is, if the way they shoot their promos and how they book new superstars is like set in stone, it's probably gonna be like a little quick talent enhancement match.
Either that,
maybe two of those.
Yeah, probably two of those, and then we'll see him versus Apollo, and then they're
gonna bring up Cedric Alexander, and have him kick Cedric in and gonna lose. Watch, timestamp this. It's gonna come back in 3 weeks. Gonna be tight.
Fendi, Triple V.
We get the Naomi versus Blair. They have a match, really dope pop and reception for Naomi. Of course, it's in Orlando, which is her hometown. Crowd was definitely feeling her.
Hometown still can't get the damn fucking fist pump right. Still, I don't understand it. My wife was like, "They should go to Jersey," and I'm like, "I think that's just a Jersey Shore thing." Honestly, at this point, I don't think Americans can get shit right when it comes to fans.
There's no rhythm.
I just don't.
None.
Doesn't make any sense.
Roxanne Perez is in the building. It made me think like, man, could we possibly see like maybe down the line a Roxanne Perez versus Naomi match? Like I'd be cool with that. I'd love to see that.
I'd hope so.
Solid match. They end up having a good match. Blair ends up getting the win in this. And I saw a lot of people upset that like, oh, she lost in her hometown, and I get it. It's bittersweet because you want the talent to win in front of their fans, but at the same time, there's no team in I, right? Like the whole purpose is to continue to build a superstar or build the story. And by her losing in her hometown, it just puts more heat on Blair, and therefore their story can be extended longer. You know, would you rather have a win in your hometown, or would you rather have 12-week program? That just makes the most sense to me.
Yeah, and to piggyback off of that, this is Blair getting her look back or her win back, so they're 1-1. Also, like I get it, like Vince always had talent losing their home. Triple H is different. Yeah. It's 50-50. It makes it more unpredictable. We just watched Gargano and Logan Paul.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, you just watched Gargano.
But also,
both of 3.
People still win in their hometowns too. Like, I mean, we saw Alba Fire and Isla Dawn win in their home country or whatever the fuck. Like, people, like,
True.
It's more, it makes it unpredictable. But yeah, at the end of the day, like, if you're actually paying attention to the show, like, and just this is where it comes to like just stands being stands, where it's like this is Blair getting her win back, and it was a longer match that they had the last time. So actually, we actually got to see Blair work, and it was a good match. It looked good. Naomi's doing fine. She's on TV. She's with the Black Bombshells. We're going to get a 3v. Like, everything is fine.
It's pushing more. She's on the show. In the Vince era, these women were not getting on the show. Like, they were fighting to get on the show. She's on the. I don't think she gives a damn. She done been in Orlando, won in Orlando, lost in Orlando. Like, she's just trying to be used. Like, that's the most important thing here. Like, I'm on the show. I'm getting time. I'm getting burned.
And if you look at the
being presented.
Yeah. Being presented again, like backstage promo, like her hanging out with Jade and Naomi, like it looks like they're she's Naomi, Jade and Bianca. It looks like they're all having fun, and maybe they're just shilling or something, or maybe the niggas are just lying. But it seems like most people are having a lot more fun with Triple H Nick
it's like, bro, like she comes back, she has a beef with Tiffy. She ends up having a pay-per-view match for the women's title in the triple threat. She ends up fighting Bayley. Like, she's being used. Like, I think she's being used really well. I think that people just want the trajectory to speed up a little bit, and I get that because like she deserves the world because she's a great person and she's a great talent, and just based off of like her shit that she was doing in TNA, it's gonna get there.
Yeah,
I just let the shit just play out. Like, we got a whole bunch of shit to like do.
It's a big roster, and not all of our favorites can do everything that we fucking want. Because if it was up to me, Seth would never lose a match. If it was up to me, if I had the pencil. But then again, I don't.
Talent for a whole year. Bro, that was losing to everybody. That nigga lost to Cody when Cody came back in Mania.
0-3 to Cody. 0-3. His first
is the enhancement talent to somebody.
He lost like 5-6 WrestleManias in a row. Until he fought, what was it, Logan, I think, or Riddle, or somebody, I don't remember, was like, he lost so many WrestleManias in a row. I want to hear this shit, you guys. Naomi
will be fine. She's looking great. She's being used. I'm excited to see, to see her story and where everything goes.
Presented better.
We get an easy W promo from Aton Under disrespecting Kevin Owens, saying he doesn't deserve the title shot, and that, if I was Cody, I would have chosen him too, just because it looked like an easy lick. KO didn't like that. That didn't go too well with him.
Nope.
And at least the KO versus Waller. Ethan Page is in the building. I love Ethan Page, man. Like, it's really dope to see him as a champion, like being presented as such. Shout out to him. One of the key guys that got me into like toy figure hunting. So I have no disrespect to Ethan Page. Dude's a pretty solid talent. I still got to check out an NXT match. I will get to it. We just watch a lot of wrestling throughout the week.
Yeah.
So KO versus Waller. What you got?
Man, solid ass match. I will say this because just to keep the energy the same, Ref Jessica, she was a little lenient on the time count because they were outside of the ring for a minute with no counting. But that's my nitpick of the night as far as that match goes. But no, the match was solid. KO looked good. Like, essentially the subplot or the underlying story is that people, like with last week when Cody, like you could see, either you could take it as Cody and Aldis were like super pitying KO, or they are trying to light that fire back under.
They're egging him on.
So they were like, yeah, we'll just give it to Roman then. Fuck it, look at the like no. So it's like, and then with these two stooges making fun of Kevin Owens, like you can see that fire coming back in him, and that's the last thing Cody wants personally. But
for sure,
man, the match was good, and we get a stunner out of nowhere, and Kevin Owens is going for a pin. He goes for after he stuns Grayson Waller, he does a pop-up powerbomb, which I missed.
Motherfucking pop-up.
I missed that move so much, and the crowd, like, seeing him get that win. Because like he said it again this week. He's like, just check my win, Ross. Like, we're like, he's the Deadpool of fucking WWE. He's breaking fourth wall all the time. But like the crowd reacted to that win, And it wasn't just because, we're seeing Kevin Owens live. It was like, we saw him win. And not only did we see him win, but we saw him show a different, an older side of himself, a more aggressive side where, he gave him stunner. He could have went off the stunner, but nah, fuck that stunner. You want me to take it back? I'll take it back. Pop-up powerbomb, baby.
And that was my notes, man. Like, this is KO getting back to form. This is Kevin Owens, who was the WWE champion, who was being used as like the main event star. Like, I enjoyed it, man. Like, fucking the Swanton to the pop-ups to the stunners. Like, the fight, Owens fight is back. Like, that's the guy that like you like to see. Like, that's the talent that Kevin Owens is.
And
he's good, man.
And I like the element of it too, where he won, but he was like such in his bag where he started attacking them after the match to the point where he got jumped. And then that's when Cody comes for the save.
Cody comes out. Yep.
Yeah. Because both Theory and Waller, they grab chairs. They're about to decimate Kevin Owens. But Cody comes out. Then Cody and Kevin both get the chairs and they attack him off. And then Cody tries to pick up the title, but Kevin Owens picks it up first. Very a la Will and Swerve almost.
Yeah.
And
this is the second time. This is like now KO done picked it up. Rock done touched it. I'm like, you gotta stop letting niggas pick up your belt, man. At some point.
Yeah, I mean, you can kind of see on the face too, because like Kevin Owens, he picks it up. He doesn't like super look at it, but he picks it up. He hands it back to him. He taps. Nice. He pats him on the back and he pat him on the belly as he was leaving. But you can see,
man had Randy sitting next to him. Randy looking at it all crazy. He's like, "Hey, yo, what y'all on?"
Yeah, but you can see Cody was like, was he hurting me? Was he just trying to get a rise out of me? Is he still my homie? You can see like the different emotions going through those couple facial cues. It's like,
right?
Is he fucking with me? Is my homie fucking with me? He's like, yeah. So just good long term storytelling, but also like, they're both playing their roles right, and obviously Cody's a good actor for what it is, and like the facial cues and everything. So the match should be good, and we know Cody's going to win, and it's how Kevin Owens reacts after that loss. He's more than likely still going to be a friend, but if we ever get that inevitable Roman Cody tag that I was predicting, then at some point Randy and KO are going to be upset.
And it depends on I throwing shit out there because I think this year I think KO has his contract too. So depending on where this goes, depending if how they use KO is depending on whether he resigns or not. That's how I see it. This is a good time to let's make him look good as fuck because he deserves to look good as fuck.
I could have sworn he re-signed the contract 2 years ago.
I thought KO had one coming up end of this year, if I'm not mistaken. Don't quote me.
Because I could have sworn, because I remember there was a time where he's putting his head on the thing, and they're like, "Oh yeah, he's AEW bound," and then he re-signed, and I want to say that was the year before. I want to say that was WrestleMania 30, around WrestleMania 38.
3 months ago, he had 9 months on his contract, so he had 6 months.
Oh wow, okay. That was a short contract then he signed, because I want to say it was 2021, 2022.
Yeah,
when the Reapers were popping up.
Contract year, this is a very important year. Now we are going to get into LA Knight has a promo, big fucking pop for LA Knight.
Yeah, and before that promo, Legado has a segment too, and similar to the Bronze or the Dogs Barking, the Escobar C. I'm fucking with it. I don't know. I'm fucking with it.
That's funny.
Is it mimicking and kind of glazy? Yes. C. I'm fucking with it, bro. I don't know, man. And I'm a Legado fan, and also in that segment, Elektra Lopez, she looked very nice. Take it, free. But yeah, man, I'm fucking with it. But yeah, LA Knight came out like you were saying, and he did what he did. He did what he does. He does what he does. He's fucking killing it. They got a match next week set up.
We then get our match of the week. I'm assuming it's our match of the week. There's only two matches. There's only one match here, and this has to be the match of the week. No. Street Profits versus fucking DIY. And boy, oh boy, bruh, them boys was wrestling. Bruh, this was great.
It came out. yeah, Gargano I think it was, I don't know if it was an interview or if it was just one of those random backstage things, but he was like, I want this match to be very black and gold era-esque, and boy, did they fucking deliver.
Yep.
They,
Yeah.
you want to talk about restore the feeling? Like, I mean, honestly, yeah, I have no notes on this match. The only thing I wrote was Street Profits versus DIY because that's how locked in
Because he was locked. Yeah,
it's such a good ass match. Like there's so many good moments. It's like where do you even start?
Tez and Gargano have a great stalemate. There's a push from this Tez and
Dawkins.
Yeah, Dawkins pushes Gargano into Tez into a German suplex. Like double suicide dives from Tez and Gargano. Like them looking at each other like,
yeah,
both about to do it, I guess.
Yeah, and
like,
Johnny's like, all right, you want to go? You want to go? All right, let's see what you got.
Like,
and I was like, oh,
bro, just man, like it was tick for tack the entire match. Like the performance from both teams was just amazing.
Yeah,
like it was one of those ones where I did not know who was going to win. I love that feeling, especially in WWE, because usually I have like a good like idea, but this one I was like, oh shit, like
yeah,
it can go either way.
Exactly, because last week I predicted DIY winning just to like continue because they lost, like, but no, it could have either went either way, and like it was a good show. Like these were two babyface teams, and they both played that way. It was one of those. It was like watching Captain America: Civil War or some shit. It was like everyone's good in their own mind or whatever, but it's like it was
we just
like,
fighting for what we believe in, like
yeah, and it was fucking fire. There was another. You already mentioned two good spots. There was the other spot where we get a super kick into the fairy tale ending, and you can see the slow motion. Gargano connects his foot with Montez's lips, like it hit. Like, I mean, obviously it didn't hit hard enough to where he got concussed or he was bleeding or something. But like in that slow motion, there's no faking. Like that foot touches his face, his fucking face vibrates from the foot.
there was contact.
Yeah, there was contact.
No faking that.
No. But yeah, bro, these teams were hooping. Like they were in their bag. Like
there was another spot.
There was a lot of false finishes. It was very black and gold. Like yeah,
there was a spear, like through the Gargano does a spear through the ropes. The Dawkins catches him into a face plant. I'm like,
the silencer is what he calls the move. It's very similar to the messenger. Which is Andrade's finisher. It's very similar.
So fucking dope, bro. Like, man.
And again,
can we put on the match of list? Can we put that on the match of the year list?
No, it should be. It definitely should be. Like that's not
I'm gonna put it on the match of the. I got a list.
It needs to be.
But I'm gonna add that to the list.
It needs to be in the nomination, absolutely. And that's
absolutely.
That's not even a recency bias. Like if you just saw how the internet was reacting. Like I just saw how the internet was reacting before I even watched the show because obviously show starts at 5 East Coast time. I don't get to watch the show until like 8:30 p.m. So like I could just like everyone was like, oh shit, this is fucking hype. This is hype to shit.
Yeah.
It was man, it's just super good. Can't talk about the match enough. Like
great fucking match.
It definitely should be in the match of the year contender nomination when we go back on all of these matches.
It's definitely getting added to the list for sure.
Real quick, but before I lost my point, and we talked about it before. It's like again, I love Montez. I'm all for the Montez singles push, but we have to put some respect on fucking Angelo Dawkins. Like he is phenomenal.
All day, every day.
He could also have just as good, if not a better, singles push. Like both them as a team is absolutely phenomenal. Like they look amazing. They both could easily get a singles push. Let's stop harping on just one person.
The distance is not as far as it used to be.
No, it's not.
It used to be like, oh, Tez has got it, but now it's like, well, I don't know.
Yeah, no, exactly.
At some points, like Tez, at some points, Tez looks like the one who's taking the back seat.
Yeah, no,
because Dawkins is just doing it, man.
Exactly. No, you put it perfectly for me. Like, yeah, but this was 2021. Like, yeah, no, the conversation is different. The conversation is extremely different.
Way different.
But even Natty, she was like, she tweeted again where she's like, she's just super proud of Dawkins because that's how committed he is. He's in the dungeon on a weekly basis, training, and you can see it. Dawkins in 2022 versus Dawkins now, like that's why to me the conversation gap has closed. Like they both deserve that singles push. I want to see them as a tag team, and honestly, spoiler alert, they win this match, and it's very plausible that they will get these titles if we get a DQ. Assuming we get a DQ, or not a DQ, but assuming we get some interference.
Interference,
it's very plausible we get.
But shit, based off the way like they was fighting now, like if they do it clean, I'm cool. Like they prove that, hey, we're good enough to where we can do this shit clean, and y'all can do y'all bloodline shit afterwards. Like that's how I feel.
Yeah.
Speaking of bloodline,
it depends on if Fatu's in the match or not. But even then, if Fatu's in the match,
even then, you can have Tama take the pin.
You know, Tama, he should take the pin. Fatu shouldn't be pinned until he gets that 1v1
until Roman.
Yeah,
until Roman. Easy. Speaking of bloodline, we get to close out the show with the Solo promo. He asks the crowd to acknowledge him. They don't want to do that. He says, fine. He then calls out. He says, Roman, if you call yourself tribal chief, you want this Ulafala, bring your ass out here and come take it from me. We then get the new theme from Roman. I saw that it was like thrown out there earlier this week. I didn't listen to it because I want to hear it like during the show and when actually I needed to hear it or when it was supposed to be heard. But new Roman theme.
I'd say quote unquote new because I guess it was used during Mania. I just don't remember it, but I guess it was used during Mania. So
I got to go back and check.
Yeah.
It sounded different to me than the one I heard at Mania, but
it starts off different. Like there's more drums and shit. But yeah.
So slightly altered version of the theme. We then get the new hoodie version of the OTC, which I will be purchasing very soon. That will be definitely in the closet.
DT already got 5.
Fuck. I was watching this promo because as he comes out to the ring, him and Solo square up, and Solo wants to do it solo. I respect the idea of like, nah, let me do this shit one-on-one. Go ahead, just go to the side. Like, take this, sit over there. It didn't work out too well for him, but I respect it. I respect you running the fade. He ends up getting jumped. Not jumped, but Tama comes in to help out Solo. Make quick work of that boy Tama. Get him out here. He then takes the Ulafala and he gives us the moment that we've been waiting for. He puts it back on his neck, and
it was very similar to Infinity War, where Thanos finally gets all the gems. He's like, oh, you see that?
I'm back myself. I'm back here.
Yeah, it's like you see that energy surge. Yeah, but that ends very quickly. Fatu comes out and he super kicks him with a boot. By the way, wearing a boot,
great walking boot.
Man,
I was like,
And then Fatu,
this man is different.
Yeah, Fatu pretty much decimates Roman the entire time. Roman gets no offense. He gave us a great meme or a great face for a picture because he takes the
after the hip thrust.
Yeah, the hip thrust.
The hip attack.
His eyes are just like
oh shit!
You're overacting, but I will accept it.
You're overacting.
You're over. Like he was overacting. He's like, oh, it's like okay, bro.
I'm about to sell this.
It's like it's your first time tasting water or some shit, or like, I don't know. I don't know. Like what the fuck? Like he was over. Like his eyes are popping out.
Shit. That's fucking funny.
But yeah, so that's gonna be great for memes. Well, I'm sure we'll see like 30 ABIs of that tomorrow. But yeah, Jacob Fatu destroys him enough to where the other two recover, and yeah, they powerbomb him through a table. And his next appearance isn't supposed to be until Seattle, which is September 19th or something. So it makes sense that he's quote unquote slightly written off.
That's fine. Yeah, it makes sense from the aspect of story to keep building up Solo to make them look strong. Like your boy came back. We took him out, and that's how we roll. It makes a lot of sense for the Bloodline to have this. It also makes a lot of sense just from a personal standpoint. So like everything that's going on in his life right now, there's a lot of like extra stuff you have to deal with. It's time, man. It's about to get real interesting. And I kind of question like whether or not where Solo or where we're gonna get the next edition. Like we already know that there's another Bloodline member out there. We already know that Jimmy's supposed to come back. We don't even know if is he gonna side with Roman? Is he gonna stay in line? Like we have a lot of different things to kind of think about. Actually, yeah, I'm gonna ask you this. Like, do you think that Jimmy automatically chooses Roman's side, or does he get in line? Are they going to force him to get in line?
I think it goes Roman.
No way that like he comes back and like, yeah, y'all kick me, but I'm gonna just play like, not. I'm gonna play lackey. Like, you think Jimmy comes back let's say, does Jimmy come back before Roman comes back, or do they all come back in Seattle?
Okay. Okay. So assuming, okay, let's say hypothetically we get that tag team championship match in Berlin. I would assume one of them shows up to cost them the titles. Honestly, I feel like Bloodline and Judgment Day are going to lose the titles in a very similar fashion. Even if it's not original, I feel like
it's very WWE.
I feel like there's going to be some interference involved because those two teams that have dominated for the last couple of years, specifically Bloodline over the last like 4 years, they're going to get their up and comings, and so So to answer the question immediately, I think Jimmy's going to be Team Roman. Jimmy was Team Roman after Roman lost, and it was just Jimmy and Paul and Solo. And then Solo, his younger brother, betrayed him and beat his ass and chose some, even though they are familia, but outsiders over his own older brother. So I feel like it makes more sense for Jimmy to be Team Roman. If he came back as a coy and be like, I'm just trying to join, you could do that. But if I'm in the POV of Solo, why would I believe you? I beat you up, type of thing. So,
and I didn't want you in the group.
Yeah, and I didn't. Yeah,
I forgot about that. He didn't want him in there.
Yeah, they kicked him out essentially, and then they kicked out Heyman because Heyman didn't want to acknowledge him either. So, I'm going to assume that Jimmy's going to be automatically Team Roman, and also since we know Roman's still not going to be here every week, we similar to in the previous times, we need someone to carry the stories. So I feel like it's going to be Jimmy. Jimmy and Paul that are going to be carrying the story on the weekly SmackDown shows when Roman is not around.
Yeah, Jimmy, Paul, especially if Roman's not coming back until September, that means you lead into Bad Blood with probably some kind of Bloodline element, which then leads into Survivor Series, or like we'll get the Bloodline Civil War and Survivor Series, where something in Bad Blood is going to be big for us. Something that's going to happen there is going to be really big to the story for the Bloodline.
The real thing, I would say the real question is, I know the show is going long, but I would say the real question is, are we truly getting the Bad Blood Civil War that we predicted? Because
I don't know.
They could super deviate from it because it doesn't seem like Jay has any besides random interviews like Sports Illustrated and whatnot. As far as character goes, or like on the TV, if we're just basing this off of TV, it doesn't seem like Jimmy has any fucking interest in helping at all. He's doing his own thing. Jay.
Yeah, Jay's fine.
It doesn't seem like he's like, it seems like he's really fucking, like he even showed up in a dark match on SmackDown after the show, like him and Priest, and like he cuts a very beautiful promo about Alpha and whatnot. But yeah, it seems like Jay has zero interest.
He's over. He's
over shit.
He's very over.
So it's like, how do we?
Yeah.
How? And it's not our job to figure out, but how do they get Sammy and Jay? How does Roman get both of them? How does Roman and Jimmy? Because Jimmy fucked over both Sammy and Jay also. So how does Roman and Jimmy and Paul get Jay and Sammy? If we're fantasy booking the way that everyone predicts this is going to happen, how do they get them to join them back just for this Bloodline match?
And shit, you might not. The thing is, Survivor Series can still be 1v1. Survivor Series can be Jacob versus Roman.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be like, in the Bloodline Civil War, although that's what we would love to see happen. But we just seen that last year, where it's like Bloodline in the Civil War, like in the cages and whatnot.
It's when Jay finally trusted Sammy. Essentially, that was the main story with that. But
it's like we saw them all together in the cages, like that definitely happened to where now it could be something completely different. Like
exactly. And there's still the other dude who signed, who has not shown up, Hikaleo or whatever.
Yeah, so
so
we don't know. It's interesting. Like Q4 for wrestling is always interesting because that's when everything has to pick up. That's where all your Mania story starts getting like threaded. Like by Bad Blood, you should have a pretty solid idea of like what shit is starting to look like. We'll see. But that was the show, folks. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. It was a really good episode. I feel like it's a really great episode. Thank y'all for tuning in. We will be back. No, next week will be All In.
Is it All In? Okay.
I believe so. Yes, because next week AEW's in England, so that means Sunday is All In. So next episode will be an All In episode. So just be ready for that. And the one after that, we'll get back to our regularly scheduled programming. But yeah, thank y'all for tuning in. We will catch you guys in the next one. It's been real. Peace out.
Too sweet.